Broadcasting more than 2,000 games live and archived in 15 sports in over 10 counties in western Pennsylvania, as well as being the exclusive home for all the WPIAL playoffs and championships for nearly 2 decades. Anytime, anywhere, always there. We are the new Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Welcome to exclusive coverage of the 2017 WPIAL football playoffs, only here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. This evening, it's a rematch of a Class 5A semifinal thriller from a year ago, as the Gateway Gators take on the McKeesport Tigers. The Highway to Hines at tribhssn.triblive.com is sponsored by UPMC Sports Medicine, by Carlow University, by AstroTurf, by Dollar Bank, by Chick-fil-A Robinson, by WQED, by Adrian's Pizza, by Gateway Health, and by Trib Total Media. Now let's head out to Norwin High School and join Matt Vandriak and Josh Rowntree for all the action.
The semifinal exit of the 2017 Highway to Hines brings us to Norwin High School in North Huntington as we prepare for a rematch from Week 8 as the 10-1 Gateway Gators take on the 8-2 McKeesport Tigers. Good evening and welcome to 2017 WPIAL High School football playoff coverage here on the new Trib Live High School Sports Network. He's Josh Rowntree. I'm Matt Vandriak. Josh, you look at these two teams, you look at two very potent offenses. Gateway comes in averaging 38.5 points per game. McKeesport averaging 34.1 points per game. But the way they get to those numbers are, well, very contrasting styles of offense.
Polar opposites is the way that you could describe it. These two offenses, they're fantastic, and they move the ball down the field, and they do so in big chunk plays. They've scored a lot of points this year, and they've racked up a lot of yards. But with Gateway, it's about the pass. And Brady Walker, their talented quarterback, 4th in WPIAL history in passing yards right now. Just an amazing career as a 3-year starter, and they'll throw it quite a bit. They're going to do a lot of run substitute plays. They're going to try to screen pass it a little bit, move the ball around through the air. We'll see how that works here on a very cold night at Norwin. On the other side, you have this McKeesport offense, of course, the George Smith flexbone attack, the triple option that they run. You have the quarterback, J.J. Harper. Leighton Jordan is the fullback, and Carlinos Acey, who they use primarily as the pitchman, the wingback. And the key for McKeesport, what they were not able to do, Matt, the first time these two teams met, is get the fullback going, and Leighton Jordan. They could not get him moving that well, and that opens everything else up. Gateway did a great job attacking the middle, taking away the fullback, and now it's going to be up to this McKeesport team to make an adjustment here tonight against this Gators defense.
You talked about this Tigers offense. It's led by the duo of Jordan and Acey, as well as J.J. Harper. Jordan leading the Tigers with 1,257 yards rushing and 15 touchdowns. Harper's rushed for 1,089 yards and 15 scores. Acey 742 yards on the ground and 9 touchdowns. But the big connection for Gateway has been the combination of Brady Walker and Courtney Jackson. You mentioned Walker, almost 3,100 yards and 34 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions this season. He's also a dual threat. He's rushed for 436 yards and 2 scores. Courtney Jackson, top target, 60 catches, 1,318 yards and 18 scores. Jeremiah Joseph's not a bad number 2 receiver, 36 grabs for 416 yards and 4 touchdowns. The area where there might be a little bit of concern, though, for Gateway, Josh, in the backfield, Isaiah Cameron had put up over 1,000 yards in total offense this season and scored 14 touchdowns, but the leading rusher for the Gators is out for the season.
Yeah, and that's a big blow for Gateway. There's no way around that, but they do have a guy that they think is going to emerge here in these playoffs, and that's Derek Davis. He's a freshman, but talking this week to Don Hall, their second-year head coach, Don said that he's the next big thing at Gateway. There's already a lot of collegiate interest in him as only a freshman. He's 6 foot, 175 pounds, had 3 touchdowns last week in the win over Woodland Hills, 40-28. The Gators got it done there. Rushed for over 100 yards. He also can get involved in the passing game, and he's a really good linebacker on the other side of the ball. So they're really high and really excited about this freshman in Derek Davis, and a pretty nice compliment to go back there with Brady Walker, who, Derek Davis aside, I think Brady Walker is going to have to get it done with his feet in this game.
Yeah, Davis, 471 yards in total offense and 7 scores coming into tonight. Jaquan Thomas will also see some time in the backfield as well. McKeesport as a team has passed for only 240 yards on the season, which is basically a half a football for Brady Walker. But that doesn't even tell the story, Josh, of how little McKeesport's throwing the ball this season.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to throw it much, and if they are throwing it, it's probably not a good sign. It probably means that they're losing the football game, and they're trying to get back into it by throwing the ball down the field. So if McKeesport's running, they know that they're in control of it. And that said, they do have a capable guy back there under center in J.J. Harper. I mean, this kid, has Division I offers. He was the hero of the semifinal game last year, both he and Leighton Jordan. And really, I mean, you look at what he's done this year, over 1,000 yards rushing, 15 touchdowns. He's 26 in the WPIAL in rushing coming into tonight, and he's a quarterback. So he can really move the ball. And then obviously you throw back there Leighton Jordan, who before their Penn Trafford game a couple of weeks ago, I was down on the field and I was standing next to Leighton Jordan. He is huge. I mean, as a fullback, it's amazing to me that they did not use him as the fullback until week 4. They moved him to the fullback position. Through those first 3 weeks, he had 130 yards through 3 weeks. Since then, 1,127 yards over the last 7 games. He has 4 200-yard games. And again, the fullback position is what makes the triple option go. He's the perfect guy for it. He's really, really a tough kid.
These teams met in Week 8 with Gateway winning 21-18. The Gators, Jeremiah Josephs intercepting a pass in the end zone with the Tigers on the 5-yard line, looking for the go-ahead score with 6 seconds left in the game clock. The more impressive thing about that, though, Josh, is Gateway holding McKeesport to 225 yards on the ground. Walker had a pretty good evening. He passed for 281 yards and 3 touchdowns. Jackson Ford grabs 112 yards and 2 scores. But that Gateway defense really was the story that night.
Yeah.
And McKeesport, both coaches, both Matt Miller and Don Hall, said that, playing each other before actually is a benefit, and they both look forward to this opportunity here to do it again.
Yeah, I thought both defenses, given the offenses that they were facing a few weeks ago in that 21-18 game, I thought both defenses played pretty much as well as you could possibly expect against what they were facing. Again, Gateway, they really did a great job on the interior of their defensive line. Looking forward to seeing if they can continue that here tonight. And this McKeesport team, according to their head coach, Matt Miller, he said that they're a team that's kind of built to stop the pass. As much as they see the run in practice, they've built this defense to stop the pass. So they think going against Brady Walker is something that they're more geared to being able to stop. Now, can they execute it? Can they execute it in crunch time? Because I think if this rivalry over the last couple of years has shown anything, it's that this is probably going to come down to the fourth quarter and a team that's going to make a play down the stretch here in this football game. So we'll wait and see on that, but I really like the way that both of these teams played that first meeting. And obviously, Gateway, they did not allow an offensive touchdown to McKeesport the entire game. If they can cut out some mistakes, I think they're going to have a good chance of winning this game. Same thing with McKeesport, though. They turned the ball over 5 times in that one.
It's always difficult to beat a team twice in one season, but last season McKeesport did defeat Gateway twice. They beat them 34-19 in the regular season, then, Josh, 41-38 in the 5A semifinals in what we've been calling pretty much a WPIAL Instant Classic.
Yeah, no question about it. These two, there's a lot of history between these two teams, between these two school districts. They're separated by about 10 miles, the two schools, so a lot of the kids know each other, and both coaches even said that this week. A lot of our kids know each other. They're very familiar with one another, and it breeds those great games. A lot of fans come out to watch us, even on a freezing cold night. We look across the sideline. There's a ton of folks here from McKeesport. Gateway, a big student section down below us. They brought the huge band with us as well. Really a great semifinal atmosphere on what is the coldest night of the year, we should add, here in Western Pennsylvania so far. It is freezing outside, but would you have it any other way for a WPIAL semifinal with a trip to Heinz Field on the line?
A brisk 24 degrees here in North Huntington tonight. Yeah, we're taking our sleeves off. It's that warm here tonight. Fine night for Chelsea Rowntree to join us here on the broadcast and stand in front of a wide open window. I'm sure you're really glad you volunteered for this assignment. Now, as you mentioned, Josh, the history between these teams, Gateway winning 6 of the past 10 meetings between the two schools dating back to 2007. These teams did not play in the 2014 and 2015 seasons when Gateway had dropped down to what was then the AAA level. Looking ahead to the winner of this one will take on either Penn Trafford or Upper St. Clair. Penn Trafford falling to McKeesport 27-24 in Week 9. The Tigers also beat Upper St. Clair 42-14 in Week 7 and knocked the Panthers out of last year's playoffs. Penn Trafford beat Gateway 28-0 in Week 5, which Don Hall would agree was probably the Gators' worst game of the season.
Yeah, no question about it. He did say that there were some injury issues in that game. Didn't want to use that as an excuse, but he did say that they were a bit banged up in that game. They really want another shot at Penn Trafford, I would think, and that would maybe come next week should Penn Trafford get by the other semifinal in Upper St. Clair here tonight.
Gateway will kick off right to left. The Gators decked out in the black jerseys with the gold trim. Left to right, the Tigers return this opening kickoff. They're decked out in the road whites with the blue and red trim. As we mentioned, game time temperatures here 24 degrees. It will fall to right around 20 degrees before this night is said and done. So if you're out there in the stands listening to us, that is, keep warm tonight. Jason Jenkins will kick off here for the Gators. A couple of return men back to the left for the Tigers. And a line drive kicking to take a bounce, fielded by an up man at the 31-yard line. To the far sideline for the Tigers is Kanata Gaskins, and he'll cross the 40 out to about the 41-yard line. And that's where McKeesport will come to the line for the first time this evening underneath of head coach Matt Miller. Josh, you have the McKeesport starters.
Yeah, let's take a look at their offense. Again, it's J.J. Harper, the quarterback in this flexbone triple option offense. Leighton Jordan is the fullback. The wingback is Carlino Sacy. Devin Sims we'll see on the other side of that line. Branson Smith and Deshaun Webb are the two very little used receivers. And across the line, left to right, Corey Sheridan, Alex Meadows, the Division I recruit, Brandon Brooks, Andy Mellinger, and Dylan Vanuel.
Up the middle on first down. The Tigers push forward for a gain of about 3. Tackle made by Tamai Woodson. For the Gators, yes, he quickly wraps up the fullback, Leighton Jordan, after a gain of about 3.
And Tamai Woodson, big body in the middle, 6'3", 240. He's going to play the nose guard position, but very athletic, which is a good thing to have against this rushing attack. His older brother, Thomas Woodson, the quarterback at Akron, was a star at Gateway.
2nd and 7 now for the Tigers from their own 43-yard line. Harper under center. Hard count gets the Gators to jump, and McKeesport will take free 5 on the second down, bringing up a second down at about 2 after the penalty.
In the last couple of years and the meetings between both these teams, penalties have played a role, particularly last year, that final drive. There was a 15-yard personal foul penalty on Gateway that got McKeesport a little bit closer for that Hail Mary play. So you got to limit the penalties in a game like this with trip to Heinz Field on the line.
Tigers approaching midfield here. 2nd and 2 now from their own 48-yard line. Harper under center with the 3 backs behind him. Jordan in the back directly behind him. He'll get the call up the gut. Jordan has the first down, spinning into Gateway territory down to the 15-yard line. And Justin works on the stop for Gateway.
Yeah, good gain of 7 right there for Leighton Jordan. Again, he is a bruiser. Did not play the fullback position the first 3 weeks of the year. Then they put him in there. The first game that he was a fullback, 284 yards. And they said, okay, we're going to keep on doing this. They've done that all the way here to the semifinals.
Leighton Jordan, 6'3", 202-pound senior. Moves the sticks for the Gators. For the Tigers in the Gators territory. Fresh set at the Gateway 45-yard line. Same set from McKeesport. Single receiver here to the top of the field is Branson Smith. A little bit of motion this time. Harper going to run the option, tossing it back to the deep back. Carlino Sacy turns the corner. He's inside the 40 and down to the 38-yard line before being driven out of bounds by Gateway's Jeremiah Josephs.
A good run there by AC. They get the ball to the outside on the pitch, and I think that's where they may have to attack this Gateway defense, because they're going to play the middle. They're going to try to get to the mesh point right up the middle. Can you bounce Harper outside, get it to the wingbacks, get it to the pitch man on those flies to the outside? That's going to be key for them here in this game, but a pretty good pickup right there of 6 yards.
2nd and 4 now for the Tigers at the Gators' 39-yard line. Receivers up to each side now. Top left is Deshaun Webb for this play. Gateway looking to clog up the middle. Jordan will go that way, bullying his way forward, taking defenders with him, and Jordan's going to be close to a Tigers first down, about a yard short on the play. Stacked up by the interior of the Gateway defense. First contact made by Jordan Stankovic.
And that's what they need from Jordan. If you're going to get hit at the line of scrimmage, use that muscular frame that he has. He's very close to the first down right there. Looks like he's maybe just a bit short, but a gain of 3 and a solid one right there puts them in a 3rd and very makeable.
And we'll call it 3rd and about a half yard at the 35.5-yard line of Gateway. McKeesport first drive of the game as we approach 10 minutes left here in the opening quarter. No score yet. Tigers trying to move downfield against this Gateway defense, which did such a masterful job against this McKeesport rushing attack a couple of weeks ago when they met. Harper under center. Jordan the deep back, and they get the call off the right side, and he has the first down inside the 30 and down to the 29-yard line. Gateway's Jaquan Thomas makes the stop, but a good start to this game for the Tigers and Leighton Jordan.
Yeah, big gain there, 6 yards on the pickup, and So far, 4 carries for Leighton Jordan, and no big explosive runs, but this is how they set up the other things they do. And you look at it, there's 10 guys in the box right now for the Gateway defense. They are daring you to throw the football, but McKeesport, they're going to stay with what they do. They want to run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. They're perfectly comfortable with 3 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards at a time, because those are going to end up in first downs and end up in touchdowns.
Fresh set of downs at the Gateway 31-yard line. Harper to run the option, comes to the right side. Gateway has that one read, and they'll stop him at the line of scrimmage. Not a lot going on there for Harper. Good read by Jordan Stankovic to make the stop for the Gators.
Yeah, Stankovic there in the middle. This kid does it all, really. 127 tackles on the year, has an interception, a couple of fumble recoveries, 1 for a touchdown, 5 sacks. He's just all over the field. He's really a terrific middle linebacker for this Gateway team.
Shortest offensive play of this drive for the Tigers, nets a yard. Actually, it gets nothing. It's going to be 2nd and 10 from the 31. And McKeesport comes back to the line at the Gateway 31-yard line. 3-back set again. Harper under center. Single wides to each side. Now a man in motion. Harper going to push it the option to the left side. This pitch goes back here to Devin Sims. Sims tries to cut it outside, and he'll pick up 4 yards on the play.
Great open field tackle made, though, as sliding over there was Jeremiah Josephs. He's a terrific safety, and I love these Gateway safeties. Brandon Mahoka, Jeremiah Josephs, they really cover a lot of ground, which is key when you talk about this team trying to go with the pitch plays. Those 2 guys are going to be in charge of getting to the perimeter, stopping those pitch plays, funneling everything inside. Josephs right there, big-time open field tackle for only a 3-yard gain.
3rd and 7 now for the Gators. I'm sorry, for the Tigers at the Gators' 28-yard line. Under center's Harper. Has a man moving to the right side. Harper going to throw under pressure. Downfield is a man wide open behind the defense and overshoots Devin Sims. Nobody in the stadium was expecting a pass play, including the Gateway defense. Boy. And a wide open Sims behind the defense there. Missed opportunity for the Tigers.
And that is where they get you with the pass play if they can connect. Everybody bites it on the run. They have 9-10 in the box. Then all of a sudden, instead of that wingback going into block, he just slips right by the defensive end. Boom, right down the right seam. He was wide open. There was nobody within 20 yards of him, and Harper just overthrew him. 3rd down was a big issue for them in the first meeting. They were 4 of 14 on 3rd downs in that loss to Gateway. The 3-point loss, they just could not get it going when they got it down on Gateway's side of the field. So far here tonight, they miss on a big 3rd down opportunity. They're going to go for it.
4th and 7 from the Gateway 28-yard line. Gateway stacks the box and maybe stepped a little too early as a flag flies before the play.
And if that's against Gateway, that is a big, big penalty.
It's like this one's going against the Tigers, though, for a false start.
Way.
So now McKeesport may have to consider bringing the punt team on, as it'll be 4th and 12 back at the 33-yard line.
I would punt this ball this early in the game. I want to pin Gateway deep. McKeesport doesn't have a great punting game. Leighton Jordan is the guy that punts for them, so we'll see maybe if he slips into the backfield there. But we will see what happens with that.
4th and 12 now for the Tigers at the 33-yard line, trying to convert here against the Gators. Harper going to throw. Feeling pressure, getting away from the first wave, fires underneath, has a man, but it goes through the hands of his intended target, Branson Smith. And the Gators get the stop with the turnover on downs at their own 33-yard line. A good-looking drive there for McKeesport, but a missed opportunity early on.
I'll tell you what, I wasn't sure we would see 2 passes out of McKeesport the entire night. We see 2 on the opening drive. How about that for a start for the Tigers? But they ultimately are unsuccessful with it. They stall, and that's exactly what happened to them in the first meeting. They got down in Gateway's territory, got inside about the 30-ish yard line, and they just faltered right there, falling at the 33-yard line, and now we see this talented Gateway offense.
Gators hit the field on offense for the first time tonight. They'll start this drive at their own 33-yard line. 7:55 left here in this opening quarter. No score yet here in this 5A semifinal at Norwin High School. Brady Walker coming out of the shotgun, single back to his left, 4 wides, 2 to each side. Walker fakes the handoff, fires to the near side, and that pass is low. Looking on the near sideline for Brandon Kane, and with that, Josh, the starters for the Gateway Gators underneath of head coach Don Hall.
6'2", 180-pound senior Brady Walker, the quarterback, has some college interest from IUP, Edinburgh, and some other PSAC teams. Derek Davis is the running back. We'll see Jaquan Thomas back there as well. Courtney Jackson, Jeremiah Josephs, Travis Thompson, Brendan Kane are the receivers. Across the line, left to right, Jalen Chavis, Kanan Cleveland, Amir Wahid, Tamai Woodson, and Nathaniel Slaughter, the offensive line for Brady Walker.
Walker comes out of the shotgun here on 2nd down and 10. He moves Davis to his right. 2 receivers again to each side. On across the middle. Catch made inside the 35 to the 37-yard line. Josephs makes the grab, and he's tackled quickly by the Tigers' Thomas Wyatt.
Yeah, Wyatt coming in was not in the starting lineup a couple of weeks ago against Penn Trafford. They had Elijah Price playing linebacker. They made that switch, put Wyatt in, and he's taken the place of Nason Williams, who's out for the year with an injury. But they're really looking forward to what these linebackers can do. Jordan out there, Sims, Deshaun Webb, they make plays. They're kind of an undersized but very athletic group of linebackers.
3rd and 6 now for the Gators at their own 37-yard line. Walker again out of the gun. Same set with 2 receivers to each side. And the freshman running back, Derek Davis, to his right. Walker calls out the signal from the line. McKeesport has a couple of linebackers are mimicking a blitz, and the Gators are going to need to use a timeout here in the early going.
They just never looked set there, and obviously early in the game you really don't want to burn timeouts. Of course, they'll refresh after the half, but this Gateway team, they want to make sure, I think they want to have a positive opening drive here, and that's why Don Holt taking the timeout there.
One of the things that Matt Miller had said to you, Josh, and you talked to him earlier this week, he feels his defense matches up better against this passing offense than they would against the power running team, and he feels they did a decent job last time, but have to limit allowing the big plays here tonight.
Yeah, I had them against Penn Trafford in that final game of the regular season, a game that they won over the conference champion Warriors, but they got eaten up on the ground. I mean, John Gay and Cam LaFoon, they just tore them up on the ground. They gave up, I think it was 340 rushing yards in that game. They are really athletic on the outside. They really trust their corners and Branson Smith, plus their safety and John Harper, Carlino Acey, the other corner as well. They like their group of defensive backs, and they think that they can match up well athletically out in space with these very talented Gateway receivers.
Out of the timeout, the Gators come to the line, 3rd and 6 from their own 37-yard line. 3 receivers to the right this side. Walker takes the snap, feeling backside pressure. He's going down in the backfield. McKeesport able to come in and get the sack. And that was for the Tigers.
Justin Gooden getting in and getting to the quarterback. That's what he did the first time. I love watching this kid play. Defensive end, 6'1", 185, but he plays like he's about 6'7", 285. He just bullies guys around out there. He is a phenomenal player on that right side of the line. Gets in right there, takes down Walker. Big start here defensively for the McKeesport Tigers.
So McKeesport holds Gateway to a 3-and-out after being unable to continue their drive once they got inside the Gator 30-yard line, and Gateway forced a punt on 4th and 10 from their own 34-yard line.
Jarrell Thomas, who does the punting here, and he has struggled this year. Both of these teams struggle in special teams.
High snap, Thomas able to get it down, going to get a short kickoff to the right side that will take a Gators bounce, rolling inside the 40-yard line and still going down to the 35-yard line of McKeesport, where it's touchdown. And the Tigers come to the offensive for the second time this evening, 65 yards away from the end zone with 6:05 left here in the opening quarter, and no score yet. Josh, if you're McKeesport and you're Matt Miller, you like how that drive started. You just didn't like the way that it ended, but McKeesport, the play call was there, just the execution not on what should have been a touchdown pass with Devin Sims behind the defense.
And I'll tell you what, I'm kind of wondering, too, with Matt Miller standing on the sideline, seeing that pass play almost work. I would imagine they're going to go back to that at least one more time in this game. Gateway's really selling out to the run. I mean, look at it. They have 10 guys stacked up in the box right now.
Here come the Tigers off the left side, and finding some room there is Leighton Jordan. He forces his way across the 40, out to about the 43-yard line. The end of the tackle there is Stankovic again for the Gators, but a solid gain of 5 on first down for Leighton Jordan.
Stankovic just everywhere right now. Again, 127 tackles, leads the team coming into this game. 6-yard pickup, though, right there. So far, pretty good start. 5 carries already for Leighton Jordan. And I would expect him to be well over 20 carries by the end of tonight, maybe up near 30. I think they're going to funnel their offense through him.
Asking this time, Harper fakes to Jordan, and Gateway will have none of it. Well read on the defense there, trying to find room up the middle and stopped on the play. Good job by Derek Davis to read that one as Harper called his own number that time. Gateway not fooled. Able to get a yard out of it to the Tigers. They're faced with 3rd and 3 at their own 42.
Yeah, Jay Johnson, the outside backer, also in there on the stop with Derek Davis. A couple of young players. Johnson, a sophomore. Davis, a freshman. They're really young on this Gateway defense. I think they're going to be pretty good for a couple of years to come. That was where they struggled last year, was on the defensive side, but they've gotten it together.
Here come the Tigers. Handoff going to go to the right side, and Gateway smothers it. Nothing doing there as the Gators all over it. A host of them into the backfield. And the charge led by Tui Famina Brown. Derek Davis into the backfield as well as Stankovic. Nothing doing there for McKeesport, so Gateway's defense holds the Tigers to a 3-and-out.
It was the initial surge by Famina Brown. 6'2", 190 pounds, and again, young, only a sophomore. He blew up the mesh point. That's the big thing with this offense. Can you get to the mesh point? That's exactly what they did right there, stopping Jordan.
McKeesport to punt it away on 4th and 4 from their own 41-yard line. No pressure brought by the Gators, and this one booted away by Jordan. Taking a Tigers bounce, rolling inside the 20, still rolling inside the 15, and it will be down at the 12-yard line. So the Tigers able to flip the field and pin Gateway deep. And the Gators will start inside the 15 at their own 12. And, Josh, it's one of the things you had mentioned to me off the air between these teams when they played last time. Gateway had some really good field position last time, but McKeesport taking that away right now.
Yeah, I thought both teams, Gateway did. McKeesport had excellent field position in that game. They were starting most of their drives around the 50-yard line. Gateway had some good short field opportunities as well. Of course, in that game, the last 14 plays of the first half, there were 6 turnovers in that stretch. So for both of these teams, I think, kind of an interesting start, maybe testing the waters a little bit. Nobody trying to make any big mistakes out there in the early going. Obviously, we saw the one big shot taken by McKeesport that came up empty. Gateway played it a little bit more conservative.
Starting at the 11-yard lines where it's spotted. Walker out of the gun, fakes the handoff, swing pass underneath, catch made there by Famina Brown, and he is stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing there. The Tigers all over as both Thomas Wright and Branson Smith quickly smother the receiver.
They are so quick in that secondary. You have Harper out there who can really get to the ball. You mentioned Branson Smith. He's a guy that's going to play at the next level for sure. Maybe a 1AA type guy. I think Robert Morris is looking at him a little bit. So he is a lockdown corner out there, and they're going to need him to come up big in this one.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 now for the Gators at their own 11-yard line. Walker out of the gun. A little bit of a harder count this time. Blitz coming. Walker able to elude it. Throws to the near sideline. Has a man, and it's towing the line on the near sideline. And we'll see if it's a catch. It is indeed ruled a grab at the 26-yard line by the Gators' Derek Davis.
Oh, how about Derek Davis right there? Looked like he maybe got both feet down inbounds, in fact. A heck of a catch right there, as that was a situation where Walker, he stepped up a little bit in the pocket. Jordan was coming on a heavy rush, got a good ball out. He was kind of sort of falling away and threw a strike to the far sideline for 14 yards.
Fresh set of downs to the 26-yard line. Walker going to try the other side of the field, deep down there, and overshoots his intended target there. Courtney Jackson's first look of the night. Had a bit of a step on the defense, but the throw too hot from Brady Walker.
And in the first meeting, really the first 3 quarters, Brady Walker was throwing a lot of screens, a lot of short stuff. Kind of reminded me of what Pine Richland did with Ben DiNucci a few years ago, where they just sort of had him manage to throw the ball short, let receivers get into space. In the fourth quarter, they opened it up a little bit, and on the game-winning drive, he had 2 really long passes down the field, one to Jackson on a big 4th down play, then another one for a touchdown to Brandon Kane. And already early on here, they're taking more shots down the field.
2nd and 10 for the Gators from their own 26. Walker to throw again, has time, fires to the right side, man open, and a sliding catch made out to the 47-yard line by Jeremiah Josephs. Sorry, out to the 43-yard line. Other way, a 17-yard gain and another first down for the Gators, whose offense looks a lot more in sync here on drive number 2.
Second catch for Josephs now with 21 yards. Good sliding grab right there, went down to that. And Walker doesn't seem fazed by the cold weather. Stepping back, laying a good ball in there for his receiver.
Gateway with 2 receivers out to each side. Running back is Davis to the left. He's going to get his first touch of the night, and up the middle he goes. Actually, Walker sold it and lost the football on the play. McKeesport's saying they have. We'll see if the officials rule Walker down.
Butler was the man that ripped it out, but they say that Walker got back on top of it. Marquise Butler got in there and just wrestled that ball right out of the midst of Brady Walker, but Walker realized it and got back on the football. Again, turnovers were a big issue for Gateway and McKeesport in the first meeting. Walker fumbled it twice. He threw a pick as well. Not a good start there. You got to be more careful with the football, especially in your own end.
I was fooled by the fake handoff, but the McKeesport defense was not, as the left side of the line was equal to the task, and they brought Walker down for a big loss of 8 on the play. Walker fakes the handoff, going to dump it off here to the near side. Quick catch is made by Josephs, but McKeesport all over it is gaining about 4 on the play. Was Josephs on the play. Tackle made by the Tigers' Marquise Butler.
Already the 7th pass attempted by Walker. They have not run the football yet. They have not lined up with a running play. He's been sacked twice, and he's completed 7 passes, so 9 dropbacks so far. All the offense right now for Gateway is in the passing side of it.
3rd and long, 3rd and 14 to be exact for the Gators from their own 41-yard line. 2 minutes and 8 seconds left here in this rolling opening quarter clock. No score here yet at Norwin High School. Gateway's second crack on offense, trying to keep it alive. Walker out of the shotgun, 4 wides, 2 to each side. Davis to his left, faking the handoff as Walker, and a flag flying before the play, and this is going to go from 3rd and long to 3rd and longer now for the Gators. Pre-snap foul against Gateway.
Second penalty on the Gators. Each of the 5-yard variety, and now they're behind the sticks here and see what they do. Seen a couple of tough snaps, too, for Walker. They have Amir Wahid in there playing center. Bryce Washington, how about this? Earlier in the year in the Hampton game, broke his thumb in the first half, came back in the game, and in the second half, tore his ACL and is out for the year. Just a miserable night for Bryce Washington, who's going to be a big contributor on the offensive and defensive line for them.
3rd down and 19, back at the 30-yard line. Walker chucks it across the middle, has a man in stride, catch him into the Tigers' territory, and a first down to the 42-yard line is Derek Davis, the freshman, moving the sticks. Tackle made by McKeesport's Kanan Baldinger, but a big play there on 3rd and long. The Gators convert.
3rd and 20, and they pick it up. How about that? Running down the seam, and we have seen that so far. They're spreading guys out to the far side of the field, but then they're leaking a guy down the middle of the seam, and it's working for them. Big pickup there. 20 yards.
In Tigers territory for the first time tonight. Swing pass to Davis out of the backfield, stretching the field to the right side. Cuts it back in. He's inside the 40, and he's going to be close to another Gators first down, tackled from behind by J.J. Harper. But we see Derek Davis making his offensive presence felt in these last 2 plays.
The one guy that Don Hall really highlighted was Derek Davis, only a freshman. He is going to be a star here at Gateway. This guy has, I think, high-end D1 recruit written all over him.
9 gain on the play. Davis gets his first carry of the night, and he's inside the 35, and he'll have enough for the Gateway first down, picking up 2. As the Gators try the ground game for the first time with success, they move the sticks. Tackle made on the play by McKeesport's Dylan Vaniel.
And they have to try the running game here. I think on a night like this, as cold as it is, with a team that plays the pass well, I know they want to throw the ball, and they're having some success with it so far. Ultimately, though, I think Gateway's going to need to pop off a couple of really big runs in this game, and they're going to have to make McKeesport try to commit to the run a little bit as well.
From the 34-yard line, Walker out of the shotgun, faking the handoff. Backside pressure coming. Walker able to elude it, stepping up and throwing down the far sideline into coverage, and coming down with the football now incomplete. Well defended for the Tigers there by Kanata Gaskins. I thought he had the INT, but the receiver on the play there, Jeremiah Josephs, turned into a defensive back and was able to strip it away.
Yeah, just kind of a prayer thrown down the field by Walker. Maybe you don't want to see something like that on a first down call, but he puts one down the field. He knows he has athletic receivers, but Kanata Gaskins is really a nice player and a great job in the secondary right now. The free safety sliding over in coverage right there and made a good play on the football, just couldn't come down with it.
2nd and 10 for the Gators at the McKeesport 34-yard line. 3 receivers to the left this side, single wide to the right. Davis to the right of his quarterback, Walker out of the gun. Backside pressure coming, and this one's intercepted right into the hands of Leighton Jordan. Only one man to beat. Jordan cuts it back. Inside the 35, breaks a second tackle. Inside the 25, inside the 20, stiff arm at the 15, to the pylon. Touchdown, Tigers! Leighton Jordan, he was half man and half amazing on that return, but a flag near midfield may negate the end result.
We will see. It would be a return of 66 yards for Leighton Jordan, but there is a marker down at the 48-yard line of McKeesport, so let's check that. Could be a block in the back maybe on the return. I think the INT is going to count, but I think this one may be coming back because potentially of a block in the back here on the return.
Not a good decision there by Brady Walker, Josh. He looked right at Leighton Jordan and threw it pretty much right to him. Jordan with the easy pick, and then a great return. It was only Walker he had to beat. Walker did enough to slow him down, but neither Derek Davis or the follow-up man, who I believe was Courtney Jackson, could stop him on the way to the end zone. However, that penalty flag will take the 6 points off the board, but the first turnover of the night goes to the Tigers, and they have the football, ending the Gateway drive, which was looking good right up to that point.
And again, that's just the 6th interception thrown by Walker this year. The 2nd, though, against McKeesport. They just dropped Jordan, the linebacker, into the flat there, into coverage. And I don't think Walker saw him drop back into the flat. He was trying to throw it maybe over him, underthrew it a little bit. And that was easy pickings for Leighton Jordan. And then what an athletic run back. It's almost too bad that it got wiped out by a penalty because that was a phenomenal run back and dive to the pylon. But it's going to come all the way back to the 33-yard line.
So that block in the back takes it away, but McKeesport content to get the football back with 22 seconds left here in the scoreless opening quarter. They have a fresh set of downs at their own 33-yard line. Harper under center. Tight set this time for the Tigers. Only one receiver up to the top of the field. Handoff going to go up the middle. This time it's going to be AC, and his luck is not good against the interior of that Gateway defense. Ball pops loose.
I think Gateway might have this.
Gators say they do. Officials sorting it out.
No, maybe not. I think AC might have got back on it.
Good
Gateway
work inside, though, by the Gators, as that ball was Jay Johnson who popped it loose, and then a host of Gators surrounding it.
Everybody from Gateway came away from the pile thinking that they had it, and I thought I saw maybe somebody get in, but it might have squirted free at the last second, and AC got back on it. Boy, big break there for McKeesport. Again, these two teams, they got into a turnover fest the first time, maybe trying to avoid that here. McKeesport almost got back into it.
12 minutes of football in the books here from Norwin High School. Your score after one. Gateway and McKeesport tied at 0. We'll take a break and be back with quarter number 2. You're listening to the 2017 WPIAL Football Playoffs. It's the Highway to Hines here on the new Trib Live High School Sports Network.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
Back here at Norwin High School, quarter number 2 getting underway. This Class 5A semifinal round matchup between the McKeesport Tigers and the Gateway Gators. No score after one, alongside Josh Rowntree, Matt Vandriak with you here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Josh, a back and forth first quarter where both teams left some scoring opportunities on the table.
They did, and obviously the turnover by Gateway playing a role in that. The missed throw down the seam as well on the other side for McKeesport. Both teams maybe kicking themselves a bit right now. Gateway was 68 yards passing in that first half, 35 rushing for McKeesport.
Teams will switch sides. Right to left come the Tigers, and on first down, J.J. Harper calls his own number, and he is upended by the Gators, Brandon Mahoko.
Gators with -10 rushing yards if you count the sacks in there. Really only ran one rush.
3rd and 9 for the Tigers from their own 34-yard line. McKeesport ending the Gateway drive with a Leighton Jordan interception, which he did return for what would have been a 65-yard touchdown, but a block in the back brought it back. And the Tigers now faced with 3rd and long as Harper under center, single wide up to the top. AC in motion from left to right. Jordan going to get the call, test the middle of the field, and rolls across the 40 out to the 41-yard line. He'll pick up about 7 on the play, bringing up 3rd and short, but most likely a punting situation for the Tigers. Jay Johnson on the stop for Gateway.
And that's a situation there for McKeesport. If you don't get it done on the first 2 downs, it's going to be difficult for you. And now they're facing a 4th and 3 after having to run the ball. It looks like they're going to punt it away.
Jordan will handle these punting duties from about his own 30-yard line. Joseph's back looking for the return at about his own 33. So McKeesport punting for the second time tonight, and now Gateway going to bring everybody back up to the line of scrimmage as the Tigers change formation and come out here looking to go for it. We'll see.
Gateway may need a timeout here.
And I think they got it just in time. Not sure what the set was there with the Gators as McKeesport switched from the traditional punt set, then had Harper line up in the shotgun, and confusion down there for the Gators, and a wise decision to take the timeout. So McKeesport possibly could have went for it.
It's a penalty, illegal substitution, I believe is the call here on McKeesport. So that'll negate anything maybe they were trying to sneakily try right on that play.
Back in the Tigers up 5 more, which will push them back to the 36-yard line. It should be a definite punting situation here. 10:36 left here in this opening half. No score yet. Both teams with a couple of cracks on the offense. Nothing to show for it on the scoreboard. Both defenses have bent a little bit, but not broken either.
They're still having issues with the substitution here. Running off the field is Alex Meadows, and they got a guy on late as well.
Jordan awaiting this snap inside the 25, and he'll step up to the 25 and right foot a good kick, driving the return man back. It'll take a Tigers bounce inside the 30 and be down at the 28-yard line. So Gateway, again, not the beneficiary of good field position. They'll start inside their own 30-yard line, but got a good drive going last time, Josh, despite starting inside the 20, but then the Tigers there to take it away on the Jordan INT.
And I would guess Gateway may come out and try to run the football a little bit on this drive. Obviously, they were able to get some chunk plays, 20, 17, 14-yard pass. They had the 9-yarder as well. But the INT, I want to see Gateway maybe try to get something going a little bit with Davis on the ground here. I think they can have success. I really do. I think Davis is a good enough back, only a freshman, but I think he can get it done. I would expect them maybe to mix in a little bit of run here.
From the 29 come the Gators to the offense for the first time here in the second quarter. No score here yet from Norwin. 5A semifinal rematch of last year's semifinal round. Win for McKeesport, faking the handoff as Walker. Has some time, waiting for the play to develop. Now going to feel pressure. Walker able to elude it. Rolling to the near side of the field. Walker going to pull this one down as he cuts across the 35-yard line and dives out to the 38. Jordan on the tackle for McKeesport, but Brady Walker shows his mobility there. Josh able to make something out of nothing.
Yep, Tamai Woodson had the big block in the middle of the right guard. He was about to be taken down, and Woodson at the last moment, number 52, stepped up and got a man in the middle of that line and sort of just cut him down a little bit, and that allowed Walker to scramble and get enough for the first down.
To the 39-yard line, the Gators with the fresh set of downs. 3 receivers to the left, single wide to the right. Out of the shotgun, McKeesport showing blitz to the left side, and a lot of movement over there results in a pre-snap foul. We'll see who it goes against. McKeesport clapping, so flinching on the line are the Gators, and another pre-snap penalty against Gateway, not helping their cause here tonight.
It's their third penalty in both of these teams right now with some penalty issues. Both teams at 3 at this point. Now whistles down on the field. Something wrong with the football perhaps here? You see an official bringing a football to the near sideline.
Yeah, checking it out here. Perhaps it's just froze.
They're going to give the football to, looks like a ball boy maybe.
Get a fresh one in here.
All right. Well, sometimes they break.
It happens. Don't see it too often, but it's possible. Not exactly a tropical evening here in North Huntington, so.
No.
First and 15 with the new football for the Gators here. From their own 34-yard line, 9:49 left here in the second quarter. No score yet. Gators with their first offensive opportunity here of the second quarter. Had a pretty nice drive going to end the first before Leighton Jordan came up with the game's first turnover, intercepting Brady Walker, returning at 65 yards for a would-be touchdown, but was called back for an illegal block against the Tigers. Here comes Walker, handing off up the middle this time, and fighting forward for a couple of yards there is Derek Davis. Good push by Davis before being wrestled down by Kanata Gaskins. Davis able to break that first tackle and get a couple of yards for the Gators there.
Oh, that a designed run. Of course, they had the sort of breakdown run earlier, but again, I think they have to try to get it done a little bit on the ground, and you see them at least test it out a little bit for a gain of 3 for Davis on his second carry. 2nd
and 12 from the 37 for the Gators. And Walker trying to get away from backside pressure. He's going to be brought down in the backfield by the Tigers as Marquise Butler all over gets the sack.
Number 6 as far as sacks go for Butler earlier. Actually, number 7, he had the one that he forced the fumble out on us, so his second sack of the day. And Walker has not had a lot of time to throw. He has been flushed out of the pocket, has had to make plays on the run, and right there, taken down for about a 5-yard loss. Call it 4.
3rd down and long again here for the Gators, but they were able to convert on the last drive, Josh, on a 3rd and 18. This now 3rd and 16 from the 33-yard line. 4 receivers, 3 of those out to the right side. Out of the shotgun comes Walker. He'll fake the handoff. Throwing underneath, catch made across the 37-yard line by Courtney Jackson. Slips the first tackler, but then gets brought down by 3 Tigers at the 43-yard line as both Kanan Baldinger and Branson Smith finish the play off.
Going to be a gain of 10, but that will be it. Call it 9 actually on the play there for Walker to Jackson. By the way, update from West Mifflin High School after a quarter. Penn Trafford 7, Upper St. Clair nothing. The winner of this one gets either the Warriors or the Panthers next week at Heinz Field next Saturday.
McKeesport defeated Penn Trafford 27-24 in Week 9. The Warriors defeated Gateway earlier this season 28-0 as the Gators have to punt here on 4th down and 7. And this ball hit to the middle of the field, but not a lot behind it. It's going to be down at the 41-yard line, so a good start for McKeesport. But, Josh, you could hear that one come off the foot of Jarrell Thomas there. It almost sounded like he kicked a basketball.
It's a punt of 17 yards. It actually sounded like he kicked a brick right there almost. It was
probably felt like it, too.
On a night like this, but only 17 on the punt. And McKeesport, you look at the field position so far, and that was the story for them in the first game. They had great field position so far tonight, 40, 35, 33, and now the 41. They're getting decent starting position here, just like they did a few weeks ago in that 3-point loss.
See what the Tigers can do here. J.J. Harper under center, going to push it right up the middle with Leighton Jordan, and Gateway going to push it back. Jordan going nowhere as he tries the left side of the line. Charge led by the Gators. Jay Johnson has been very active on defense tonight.
Yeah, he has. This linebacking group, very, very skilled. Like the way they play, really play in a cohesive unit. That's what you want out of your linebackers. And then you throw Kelvin Nelson and Tamai Woodson in the middle of that line, too. Both of those guys, they just feast in the middle. And that's such a difficult assignment for a freshman facing this offense. Don Hall told me during the week that they actually ran this offense in practices throughout the year so that they could get ready and get these guys going for this McKeesport team.
2nd and 10 from the 41. Harper going to call his own number. Nobody fooled there as the Gators stack it up. Derek Davis, the freshman, with some help on the play there from Tui Famina Brown. Stopping Harper, that it's for nothing.
Well, if nobody knew who Derek Davis was coming into this, they are going to find out, because this kid is a monster on defense. That outside backer position, he is just all over the field right now. He started all year at linebacker, 65 tackles this season, a couple of sacks to his credit as well. He also blocked a punt, returned that for a touchdown this year too. So he can get it done all over the field, and right now McKeesport's having some major struggles on their line with the freshman Derek Davis.
3rd and 10 from the 41. Harper to throw. Backside pressure coming. Harper going to be brought down as he gets a couple of yards on the play, but not nearly enough for the first down. And Derek Davis again on the play as well as Tamai Woodson.
Yeah, Tamai Woodson really got that started. He kept up, and that's no easy task for a 6'3", 240-pound guy in Tamai Woodson, but he kept the wheels churning, and they only get a yard out of that.
Well, last year in the semifinals, Josh, these teams combined for 79 points in that 41-38 McKeesport victory. I think we're going to take the under here tonight.
I think so.
Tigers to punt it away. Jordan, as they go 3 and out, takes this snap and steps up to the 33-yard line. High spiraling kick off the right foot to the far side of the field. Going to take a bounce in Gateway's favor this time, and down at the 39-yard line. And that's where the Gators will start this drive. We have 5:43 left here in the opening half. No score yet coming up at the half. It's the Trib Live High School Sports Halftime Show. This week, Don Rebel welcomes Chris Harlan of TribLive.com as they look back at the regular season and hand out some final football grades as well.
Well, after the 17-yard punt, McKeesport comes back with a 19-yard punt. So neither guy really booming it out there right now. That looked like a pretty good kick at the start.
Took a bad bounce.
It kind of died and then took that backwards kick. But here's the best starting field position of the night for Brady Walker and the Gators.
From their own 39, here they come. 2 receivers to each side. Walker out of the gun with his running back, Derek Davis, to his right. Walker to throw. McKeesport brings pressure. Walker steps up and he loses it. Firing downfield, has a man behind the defense, and it's incomplete. Courtney Jackson had a step on Leighton Jordan on that play, but the throw from Walker offline, and that's another missed opportunity.
Yeah, and I thought Walker maybe should have stepped up and run that football, and they had coverage downfield. Jordan was in coverage. Looked like it was pretty tight. Walker put a pretty good ball out there looking down that right seam for Josephs, but I thought he had room maybe to step up and get the first down there with his feet, and that's maybe probably what Don Hall's going to tell him here at halftime in about 5.5 minutes is if you see that lane to step up and run, take it. Move the football.
2nd and 10 from the 39. Walker to throw again. McKeesport going to set the screen this time, are the Gators. Pass underneath. Davis makes the catch at the 35. Through the defense across midfield. Spins inside the 40.
Oh, wow.
Still on his feet. Derek Davis breaks another tackle. Puts the hand down, and Davis finally bumped out at the 32-yard line. Derek Davis looking like a young Barry Sanders on that one, Josh. Spinning, stiff-arming, hand on the turf. Breaks many tackles and pushes it down inside the 30-yard line. Derek Davis has arrived in the WPIAL.
That might be the best 29-yard catch and run you will see in the WPIAL this year. My goodness, Derek Davis, that's unbelievable. I mean, he shook out of how many tackles, put his hand on the ground, looked for sure like he was going down, stuck a hand on the ground, and then was able to keep his balance and get about 10 more yards after that.
All the way to the 28 of McKeesport. Deep pass to the far side of the field, and it's in the end zone, intercepted, almost intercepted through the hands of Carlinos Acey, who had single coverage on the far side of the field. So Walker that time was looking for the receiver, trying to break there, but Acey, the man who got his hands on it, almost came away with his second INT of the night for the Tigers.
Not a good throw by Walker. He threw that into double coverage. They had safety help with Harper over the top as well, and really good coverage by Acey those two guys were in the vicinity, and that was the ball that I think Walker should think twice about throwing. That's how you get picked off in the end zone and kill a momentum kind of drive, and he's fortunate.
2nd and 10 for the Gators from the McKeesport 28-yard line. 3 receivers to the left this side, single wide right. Davis in the backfield to the left of his quarterback, Walker, who comes out of the gun. Faking the handoff, Walker swings it underneath. Catch made, breaking the tackle inside the 20, down to the 15, and pushed backwards. Where the Gators there is Jeremiah Josephs, but enough for the first down, gain of 13, and Gateway in the red zone for the first time tonight.
121 yards passing now as he finds Josephs. And Gateway, we didn't see the screen early on. That's kind of their bread and butter. They finally have gone back to the screen play the last couple of possessions here. Here's a handoff. That ball's loose.
And McKeesport saying they have the ball, and the officials agree with it. The Tigers come away with the turnover. Devin Sims with the fumble recovery. And McKeesport ends another Gateway drive. That time just a bad exchange, and Davis lost his handle on it.
Yeah, it looked like maybe the exchange never quite worked. And obviously a cold night, hard football, never really got it secure. And it just got poked out, and Sims with a big fumble recovery. So twice now Gateway has fumbled the football as they've been driving, or turned over the football as they've been driving. The interception earlier, and now the fumble here.
And Gateway had the ball inside the 30 on that interception by Leighton Jordan, and now the fumble inside the 20. And the Tigers take over at their own 18-yard line with 4:36 left here in this scoreless opening half. J.J. Harper under center. Harper going to push it up the middle. Now he's going to run the option, tossing it back to AC, and he gets across the 20 out to about the 21-yard line. 3 gained on the play. Actually, Sims the ball carrier there. Chopped down on the play by the combination of Josephs and Davis.
And the initial hand on his foot, I think, was Travis Thompson, the corner. Maybe got a hand in there, sort of threw him off balance a little bit, and the other two guys were able to finish him off. But a great play by Thompson to reach out and just trip him up a little bit on that edge play.
Defenses have reigned supreme here tonight. 2nd and 8 for the Tigers at their own 20-yard line. Under 4 minutes now left in the scoreless opening half. Same set for McKeesport, stacking it tight around the line. This time a misdirection. AC trying to find some room, pushing behind his blockers, breaks a tackle and gets a good push out near the 30-yard line. Gain of about 8 on the play will bring up 3rd down and short.
No, I think he got it.
And they're going to give him the spot, so that second push is there. Stankovic making the stop for Gateway. McKeesport gets the spot and gets the first down out to the 29-yard line.
That's their first down of the quarter. Now just 3 in the game for McKeesport. I like that play, the little misdirection underneath as they go back kind of across the grain with that defensive tackle, a big hole as he's not able to make a tackle in the middle.
Harper losing the football in the backfield. Gateway saying they jumped on this one, waiting for an official signal, and Gateway does come away with the football. The Gators get the recovery, and Jay Johnson, who's had a lot of tackles tonight, takes advantage of the miscue by the Tigers. Gateway gets their first turnover of the evening, and they'll have it 1st and 10 inside the McKeesport 30 at the 29-yard line.
What is with these two teams and turnovers late in the first half? They had 6 of them in the first meeting. That game was played in Monroeville. Now here tonight at Norwin, turnovers back and forth again as they exchange them here. And now Gateway, I think the message from Don Hall is do not turn this football over. They're in great field position.
Right about where they had started after the big play by Davis. Turn it over a couple plays later to the Gators, now trying to make it happen. Faking the handoff as Walker, has time, pump fakes, now firing deep into the end zone, has a man going up and getting it. Touchdown Gateway is Courtney Jackson. And Gateway, one play after the turnover, finds Pater on a 29-yard strike. Walker to Jackson for 6.
29 yards, they take the shot right after the turnover. They go down the seam, and it was open. Walker a little bit slow getting the ball there, and Jackson, I'll tell you what, made a great leaping catch, held on to that ball, and I'll tell you what, that is not a surefire catch for any receiver in high school football, and Jackson went out there and made it almost look easy as he just went up and snagged that ball right out of midair, and now Jason Jenkins on for the extra point, the freshman, and he got it.
3:19 left here in the opening half. We finally have some points on the board after the teams exchange turnovers. It only takes Gateway one play after the fumble recovery. A 29-yard touchdown pass from Brady Walker to Courtney Jackson. PAT on the board as well. 7-0 Gators. You're listening to 2017 WPIAL High School football coverage. It's the Highway to Hines on the new Trib Live High School Sports Network.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me on and off the field. That's what keeps me focused, why I practice harder, play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo. Tell us your story using #WhatDriveSYou. Carlo University is a proud sponsor of the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Back here in Norwin, 3:19 left in the second quarter. Gateway breaking through for the first points of the game after recovering a McKeesport fumble at the 29-yard line. It only takes one play as the deadly duo of Brady Walker and Courtney Jackson hook up on the 29-yard strike. 7-0 Gators in the lead. Matt Vandriak, Josh Rowntree with you here. As the 2017 Highway to Hines is on the new Trib Live High School Sports Network. Kick to the near side of the field. AC takes it at the 20. Across the 25, Stutter steps to the 30, breaks a tackle. AC finds room to the right. He gets across the 35. AC sheds a second tackle as he crosses the 40 out to the 43-yard line. Joseph's finally able to wrestle him down, but a good return by Carlinos AC will give McKeesport a good start here with 3:10 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, really nice return right there by AC. They have not taken a special teams kick back, punts or kicks back for a touchdown this year. He nearly had their first right there, was able to bounce that outside, and good tackle by Joseph, as you mentioned, Matt, in the open field. Otherwise, might have been gone, but they will start at the 42. Excellent field position yet again. It's kind of becoming a trend here for McKeesport.
From the 42, Harper going to push it up the middle. Jordan fights to the 45, getting about 3 on the play. Not a lot of room to run there against this Gators defense. Stop made on the play by Tamaya Woodson after the short gain. McKeesport has a full complement of timeouts to work with here. 2nd and 7 now at their own 45-yard line. Harper under center. AC the motion man. Harper fakes the handoff to Jordan. He's going to try his own number up the gut there. Able to shed a tackler and push forward for a couple. Out to about the 48 will bring up 3rd and about 5. Good work inside by that by that Gateway defense as both Jay Johnson as well as Jordan Stankovic combining on that stop.
Leighton Jordan now with 10 carries for 33 yards. That's a win for Gateway. Harper has 6 carries for 4 yards. That's a huge win for Gateway. AC has 18 yards on 4 carries. That's not too bad either.
Here comes Jordan up the gut, and he wills his way forward, but then he can't break the second tackle. And that was Joseph's, the second tackler there, who grabbed the leg and then ended up pulling the man back with him. It looked like Jordan was going to push his way forward for that first down, but he's going to be stopped just short in a great open field play again by Joseph's.
Yeah, and the initial trip up there, too, by Kelvon Nelson. The freshman in the middle was able to get a hand in, sort of trip up Jordan along the way, and now it's a 4th down scenario here as they will try for it.
So McKeesport going to roll the dice here on 4th and 1 from the Gateway 49-yard line. AC will line up deep in the backfield here. This has been ice set here for the Tigers. Jordan the lead back. Harper under center. And the Tigers are going to burn a timeout with 1:21 left here to talk things over. Coming up at the half, it's the Trib Live High School Sports Halftime Show. This week, Don Rebel welcomes Chris Harlan of TribLive.com. They'll take a look back at the 2017 regular season and hand out some final football grades as well.
We'll also, after the halftime show, we'll get you scores from every WPIAL playoff game here tonight. As looking for the score, last we heard Penn Trafford was up 7-0 over Upper St. Clair. The winner of that game gets the winner of ours tonight at Heinz Field, and we'll have coverage of that championship game. And getting an update now, a pick 6 for Penn Trafford. Hansberry picked off 21-0. Penn Trafford on top with 36 seconds left in the half. Cam Suman, the big pick 6 for Penn Trafford. So the Warriors doing their part so far. It looks like they're maybe just a half away from a trip to Heinz Field, and now it looks like McKeesport's going to come out and punt here. But I would be leery if I'm Gateway.
Well, we saw McKeesport show this formation on the last set, and it confused Gateway a bit. Jordan, though, will kick this one his way, and he skies this one. Good bounce for the Tigers. It's going to be down to inside the 10, still rolling.
Really good
inside the 5, and that goes all the way to the 4-yard line. So 45 yards on that punt by Leighton Jordan will pin Gateway deep inside the 5-yard line. They'll come to the line And with 1 minute and 7 seconds left, we'll see what Don Hall dials up here for the Gators.
I would think, as you are 6 yards away, I think these are runs here. They're actually going to put it all the way back to the 3, so you're 97 yards away after that tremendous punt by Leighton Jordan. 1:07 left. If I'm Gateway with a 7-point lead, I don't do anything that might result in a turnover here down at your own end. I would just run this ball up the middle. I would expect McKeesport maybe to use timeouts if you do that, but I would rather give them about half the field to go, maybe with 20 seconds left, than turn the ball over down here.
Walker out of the gun in his own end zone, fakes the handoff, slings it underneath, and that pass is incomplete in the direction intended there for Tui Famina Brown, but too strong on the play. So you talked about that offense, though, for Gateway, Josh. That little underneath pass like that is pretty much their substitution for a run play. Right. And had Famina Brown made the catch, he may have gotten a couple, but the negative for Gateway now is the clock stops.
Right, that's the thing. It can be used as a run substitute, but when you're trying to run clock, if it's not a completion, then the clock stops. And I don't care for that call right there at the 3-yard line. I know that there's maybe some issues. Davis just put the ball on the turf way down at the other side of the field, but I would try to stick to a run. I'd maybe have Walker keep it.
Going to push it up the middle. Davis sheds a tackler as he spins out to the 5-yard line before being pushed back by the Tigers. AC stepping up to make the stop there.
Well, for Derek Davis running the ball, he has 4 carries for 7 yards to this point, as McKeesport is going to use a timeout. But in the passing game, he's been a lot better. 4 catches of 14, 20, 29, and 9 yards to this point.
Tigers stopping the clock with 47 seconds left, and Gateway faced with a 3rd down and 8 from their own 5-yard line. The Fall Sports State postseason continues tomorrow with broadcasts from 3 PIAA soccer quarterfinal matches and a District 6 high school football playoff game as well here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Also, as we wind down our fall sports coverage, tune in on Monday as the PIHL and the Trib Live High School Sports Network continues. You can watch a high school hockey doubleheader as Hampton faces Upper St. Clair, then Plum takes on Butler this Monday on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, www.triblivehssn.triblive.com.
And I'll be there for that, myself and Sean Myers, with Chelsea working the video for that one, so you can watch both of those. Looking forward to my first PIHL coverage of the year.
It's nice to get back to the rink this past week.
I know you had a chance this past week.
3rd and 8 for the Gators out of the McKeesport timeout from their own 5-yard line. Walker has backs to each side this time as he awaits the shotgun snap at the goal line.
It's Jackson back there with him.
He shifts a man out to the right side. Walker has time underneath throws, and that's incomplete. Too strong for Travis Thompson, and the McKeesport defense holds. But more importantly, Josh, very little time taken off the clock by the Gators.
I don't like that series there for Gateway. If you would have run the ball 3 times, you would have forced another 30 seconds probably to come off the clock, and you'd be punting here with, maybe 15 seconds left. Instead, 42 seconds. There's a lot of time here for McKeesport to get points, and they're going to have a short field most likely after this punt here that's going to come really in the shadow of their own goalposts here for the punter and Jarrell Thomas.
And Thomas about a yard away from that end line there, and McKeesport, everybody at the line of scrimmage except for the return man.
Yeah, they're bringing a rush here, it looks like.
Comes pressure, a little bit of a high snap. Thomas able to get it away with pressure in his face. And it's going to take a decent bounce here for the Gators out to the 35-yard line. And Gateway thinks that McKeesport might have touched it as Nicholas Alexander downfield tries to jump on the football, trying to get away from it for the Tigers, and then fallen on by Jamont Cash for McKeesport. But with 33 seconds left and a timeout to work with, McKeesport has a pretty good start here at the 35-yard line of Gateway.
I'll tell you what, though, if McKeesport does not get points here, remember that punt by Gateway's punter, Jarrell Thomas. That is a huge play out of your own end zone, almost blocked. I think it was Sims in there that almost got a hand on it. And if they cannot get points, that is a massive play in the early stages still of this football game.
McKeesport going to spread it out here. 4 receivers, 3 to the left side. Out of the shotgun, Harper going to feel pressure. He's going to be dropped in the backfield by the Gateway defense. Nowhere to run as Jordan Stankovic throws him for the loss.
Stankovic in the backfield, and they brought the rush there with Harper maybe looking like he was going to pass, then quickly bailed out of it on that heavy rush from the Gators defense. And now the last timeout going to be used here. Kicking-wise, they are well out of range for Anthony Beatko. He has made 1 field goal on 3 attempts this year. That was actually against Gateway. It was a 24-yarder, but they're really not comfortable with him outside of about 32 yards.
McKeesport using their final timeout of the half here. 2nd down and 13 at the 37-yard line of Gateway.
And again, I like the way that Gateway played defensively in the first meeting between these two teams. I thought they were great in the middle. The linebackers and Stankovic, Famina Brown in the middle, Derek Davis in there as well, and then the interior of the defensive line with Kelvon Nelson and Tamai Woodson, and then on the outside with the corners and the way they tackled the safeties and Mahoka and Josephs. They really played a complete defensive game, I thought. In that one, they're doing the same thing here again tonight. This is now nearly 6 quarters without an offensive touchdown from McKeesport.
Harper to throw. He feels pressure downfield, looking for Jordan. It's batted away by the Gateway defense. Courtney Jackson out there in pass coverage, knocking that one away from Leighton Jordan.
Yeah, good job by Josephs. Kind of lost Jordan for a moment, then regained himself and got a hand up and was able to break that play up. Good defensive play there as they take their 3rd passing shot down the field in this one. Did not think I would see McKeesport throw the ball 3 times and a half. I had them against Penn Trafford. They threw it once the entire game.
3rd and 13 now for the Tigers from the Gateway 38-yard line.
Gateway
and yeah, the Gators going to use their 2nd time out of the half. Well, Josh, passing for McKeesport is definitely something that doesn't happen very often. We talked about the Tigers, the team, having only 240 yards on the season. But when you look at what they do as far as passing versus rushing percentage and how it ranks on the overall football level, you had a pretty interesting stat about that.
Yeah, and you know, if you look at them compared to NCAA teams, McKeesport, they have run it 414 times this year. That's 41 times per game coming into tonight. They have thrown it 30 times this year. That's 3 per game. So that's 93% of their plays are runs. By comparison, Army, they pass it the least of the 130 NCAA D1 teams. They pass the ball 6.8 times per game. So more than half of the fewest rushing, the lowest rushing team in all of college football. That's where McKeesport stands. Only 3 passes per game. Obviously, Army, same type of attack, that triple option. They don't run it much either, but McKeesport, they do not throw the football, and they've done it 3 times, and they've been pretty good looks.
3rd and 13 from the 38. Here comes a blitz. Harper trying to get away from it. He's able to elude the pressure, but then brought down at the 40-yard line.
Who else? Stankovic.
He's everywhere. Harper was able to get away from the initial rush of Tamai Woodson, but once he stepped up, the 2nd wave there to get the stop, and Jordan Stankovic, the sophomore linebacker, continues his stellar night with another quarterback sack on our final play of the opening half. 24 minutes of football in the books here from Norwin High School. Your score at the half is Gateway 7, McKeesport nothing. We'll take a break and be back to recap your opening half of action. You are watching 2017 WPIAL High School football playoff coverage, the Highway to Hines, on the new Trib Live High School Sports Network.
East Suburban Sports Medicine, the proven leader in physical therapy. We'll help you get back into the game. Feel better, play better, live better. When your doctor suggests physical therapy, be a healthy consumer and ask for us by name. Experts in caring for high school athletes. East Suburban Sports Medicine. Take it from me, Bill Hillgrove. It's the best care, hands down.
Make Chick-fil-A Robinson your destination for a fast and tasty breakfast. Chick-fil-A Robinson offers a variety of breakfast sandwiches, including sausage, bacon, or, of course, chicken. Breakfast is served hot and fresh daily, featuring our handmade biscuits. Need to feed a crowd or a tailgate on Sunday? Chick-fil-A Robinson Catering has got you covered with hot or reheatable chicken trays. Visit our catering website at www.cfarobinsoncaters.com to book your business or social event today. Chick-fil-A Robinson Catering. We deliver.
I like catching fish with my son, but I sure don't like a health plan that comes with a catch. That's why I'm good with Gateway Health for medical assistance. They give us access to the highest quality health care from the doctors and hospitals that we want. And when you have something that good on the line,
you don't let it get away.
I'm good with Gateway. Go to I'mGoodWithGateway.com to find out why so many people say
I'm good with Gateway.
Check out the new Trib Live High School Sports Network on social media this season for breaking news, scores, pictures, videos, links to our articles, and more. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram under the handle Trib Live HSSN. Get in the conversation on Facebook at facebook.com/TribLiveHSSN. And on our YouTube channel, you can find thousands of interviews with local student athletes and coaches, plus highlights and full games. The spot for Western Pennsylvania high school sports on social media this season is the new Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Log on every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock for the latest high school football news during this week in the WPIAL, only here on the new Trib Live High School Sports Network. Join Don Rebel and other members of the Trib Live High School Sports Network team as it visits with WPIAL football coaches, plus they run down the upcoming schedule and preview the weekend's top high school football games. That's this week in the WPIAL, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. this fall, only on the new Trib Live High School Sports Network.
At American Back Centers, you've got nothing to lose but the pain.
We're talking with Dr. Pete Peduzzi of American Back Centers about VaxD therapy. Dr. Peduzzi, it sounds like VaxD therapy can successfully treat a lot of disc-related problems.
Kathy, listeners need to know that VaxD is an effective treatment for herniated discs, degenerative disc disorder, foot drop, sciatica, stenosis, and even failed back surgery.
Really? So even if a patient has had back surgery and is still having problems, VaxD therapy can help?
Yes, at the American Back Centers, we've successfully treated patients who've had back surgery and are still experiencing pain. Before considering surgery, you should definitely give us a call. VaxD is safe, FDA approved, and has a high success rate for treating disc-related neck and back pain.
Thanks, Dr. Pete. Folks, if you have any of the problems we've discussed, please give Dr. Pete a call or visit the website at AmericanBackCenters.com.
At American Back Centers, you've got nothing to lose but the pain.
Back here at Norwin High School, we are at the half of this Class 5A semifinal round matchup. Gateway and McKeesport. The Gators on top of the Tigers by the count of 7-0. Our only points of the opening half, a 29-yard touchdown pass from Brady Walker to Courtney Jackson. Matt Vandriak, Josh Rowntree with you. We thank you for tuning in for tonight's broadcast of this Highway to Hines. The rematch from last year, Josh, an instant classic where 79 total points were put on the board. I'm willing to bet you that probably doesn't happen tonight, but still a close game nonetheless. It's been a back-and-forth contest, a little sloppy at times for both offenses, and both teams probably thinking what could have been, especially McKeesport, who left 14 points on the board.
Yeah.
Off the board, I guess.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you look at some quick stats here so far. Gateway, 1 rushing yard in the first half, 150 through the air for Brady Walker. And for McKeesport, no passing yards, and get this, 55 rushing yards for McKeesport at halftime. I can almost guarantee that's probably their low of the year, 55 yards rushing. They have not been able to get it going on the ground, and obviously the one, because of the short field, the one-play drive for Gateway that ended up in a touchdown, Walker hitting Courtney Jackson for that 29-yard strike. That's the difference right now. McKeesport, they have to find a way to get the ball into space and get their guys out, because I'll tell you what, Gateway, that is a phenomenal first half of defensive football they just played. And if they can put two halves together like that, they're going to be on their way to Heinz Field.
Well, Josh, think about it this way, too. That Gateway touchdown was the first play after the fumble by the Tigers, who had forced a Gateway fumble inside the 20-yard line, but then turned it right back over. And for McKeesport, it's a lot of what might have been as well. You think back to the first quarter when McKeesport surprised everybody with an early pass play. Devin Sims getting behind the defense, but the throw from J.J. Harper too strong. And then Leighton Jordan with an interception and 65-yard return for a touchdown that was called back because of a block in the back. The Tigers easily could have 14 on the board, but instead trail 7-0 heading in to the third quarter.
Yeah, they could, and, you know, that was kind of the story for McKeesport, again, in that first meeting, and it's so different from last year's semifinal to this one. McKeesport getting chances. I mean, boy, what is this game like right now if they hit that ball to Sims down the middle of the field, or, you know, if they're able to shake free of one tackle? What happens if they don't have the penalty that brought back that interception return for a touchdown as well? Because I don't think that the block in the back that was called really played a role into that return. I think Jordan maybe would have taken that anyways. We might be, you know, 14-7 McKeesport right now. Instead, it's 7-0. You know, Matt Miller's a good coach, and they have a great staff at McKeesport. I think they'll find a way to move the ball in the second half a little bit. The question is right now, you know, what kind of adjustments will Gateway make on their offensive side of the ball too? Because with the exception of one passing play down the middle to Courtney Jackson, what has Gateway really done here in the first half? They've had some chunk plays through the air, but, you know, a couple of turnovers thrown in there, the fumble by Davis, the interception by Walker. You know, Gateway, it's missed opportunities for the Gators as well.
Well, with that, Josh, we'll take it to the break. I don't think we expected a close game here tonight, just probably not the score that we expected. I think that we anticipated this to be a higher scoring affair, and you have offenses that average 38.5 on the Gateway side, 34.1 from McKeesport coming in. Definitely the lowest offensive output for either of these teams, but familiarity between them two in this rematch, and the defense is reigning supreme through our first 24 minutes of football. With that, we go to the half. And it will be Don Rebel and Chris Harlan of TribLive.com. They'll take a look back at this 2017 regular season and hand out some final football grades as well. Halftime here at Norwin. Gateway leading McKeesport by the count of 7-0, and you're watching exclusive coverage of the 2017 Highway to Hines, the WPIAL football playoffs here on the new Trib Live High School Sports Network.
We welcome you to the halftime show sponsored by Gateway Health here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. I'm Don Rebel. Student teacher Chris Harlan is here. I call him student teacher because we are going to be handing out some grades.
It's that time of the year.
Yeah,
we're coming up on the end of the semester.
You know, I was, we were probably at the end of the semester last week, but we got so caught up in all the playoff euphoria. I don't want people to think we forgot to hand out final grades. We gave out midterm reports earlier. Let's get to the final grades. We'll start at the top, Mr. Harlan. We'll start in Class 6A.
How about we give Pine Richland an A in astronomy? Because when you look at this team, nobody came into the season with more star power than these Rams. And you look at the offense, it starts with Phil Dracovic, the Notre Dame commit. But they've been able to take that star power, and they've kind of lived up to expectations so far.
Yes, they have formed a perfect, what is that, Little Dipper? Big Dipper? Whatever. Yes.
I'm going to give an A in geography to Central Catholic, North Allegheny, Penn Hills. Because when you look at 6A, again, it came down to geography this year, where it was the Northern 7 schools that all made it to the semifinals once again. Same last year, where the Southeastern Conferences went 0-4 in the first round of the playoffs. This year, again, it was the North. So give those teams an A in geography. And one more in 6A I'll give you. How about Mount Lebanon? I'll give them an A in health, especially to wide receiver Aiden Kane, who was probably one of the best stories this year. A senior who missed his sophomore and junior seasons with knee injuries both years, came back this year and really showed what he can do when he's healthy. Went out and set WPIAL regular season records for receptions and yards. Ended up the season with over 100 catches and 1,700 yards total. What a story this year he was.
Yeah, came out flying on that first day of school and never relented the rest of the semester. How about Class 5A?
How about an A in physics to Gateway? Because when you look at that offense, I don't know if there's anyone more dynamic right now than Gateway. And that offense is always in motion.
Ah, okay. Very good. I couldn't give you any laws of physics, but that I know that worked. That's very good. Nice.
How about geometry? An A for McKeesport. Because when you look at that offense, it doesn't quite have the same shape as the other offenses you see in the WPIAL. But they make it work. And when the Tigers run, they're definitely good at their angles.
Yes, the flex bone.
It is. Call it the flex bone, call it the triple option. Whatever you want to call it,
it works.
It works.
Yes, indeed.
Another one in there. How about Penn Trafford? I might call them the most improved student, because here's a student that a year ago missed the playoffs. That team didn't make the 5A playoffs.
Right.
This year they come back, have a great year, and get the number 1 seed in the 5A playoffs. And they're playing Upper St. Clair tonight in the semifinals.
Yeah, we sort of forgot about that. It was a rare miss of the postseason for the Warriors in 2016. What do you got in 4A?
South Fayette. I'm going to give them an A in statistics. It's a little bit of a college course there, but
They're advanced enough, right?
They are. But this is a Lions team that now has a 57-game regular season winning streak. That moved them ahead of those great Braddock teams from the 50s who had won 52 in a row. And they're now getting close to that record that Aliquippa had. They won 62 in a row from 2009, 2016. So that's a regular season record that South Fayette could be challenging next season. How about another one in 4A with Bell Vernon? I'm going to give them an A in U.S. history. Because when it comes to teams here, I don't know if anyone knows more about Thomas Jefferson than Bell Vernon.
Oh, okay.
They've beaten now twice in the last 3 years. They beat him in the regular season, got him this year, and now they're playing him again tonight in the semifinals.
Trying for 3 out of 4 over the former presidents. I don't want to confuse everybody and think we're talking about Wash High. That's a 2A, and that's coming up when the halftime show continues here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, sponsored by Gateway Health.
I like catching fish with my son, but I sure don't like a health plan that comes with a catch. That's why I'm good with Gateway Health for medical assistance. They give us access to the highest quality health care from the doctors and hospitals that we want. And when you have something that good on the line,
You don't let it get away.
I'm good with Gateway. Go to I'mGoodWithGateway.com to find out why so many people say
I'm good with Gateway.
It's the grand opening of Freedom Pizza and Deli, located at 10339 Perry Highway in Wexford. Satisfy your cravings for gourmet pizza, wings, rolls, burgers, calzones, wraps, gyros, hoagies, sandwiches, wedgies, and pasta. Dine in, take it out, or get free delivery. Open 7 days a week, serving Wexford, Franklin Park, Ingomar, McCandless, and Bradford Woods. Freedom Pizza and Deli, located on 10339 Perry Highway in Wexford. Call 724-719-6751.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
Halftime show sponsored by Gateway Health here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Don Rebel, student teacher Chris Harlan. I call him Mr. Harlan when we're giving out the final grade. So, Mr. Harlan, what about Class 3A Final Four tonight?
I'm going to give Aliquippa an A in creative writing. This is going to be a class that Quip's coach Mike Zmianek would know well, being a former English teacher. But you look at this Aliquippa team, they're a group that so far has written a really good start to their story this year. Now we're going to see what the final chapters of it hold. I mean, they got to Heinz Field last year, didn't win the title. Are they going to get back there this year for a 10th time? Are they going to win the title this year? The fairy tale ending for the Quips would be an undefeated state championship, something the Quips have never done before. They've won state titles, but had always lost 1 or 2 games along the way. So I think that's what's going to be interesting now to see what the final chapters for their creative writing holds. How about Quaker Valley? I'll give them an A in woodshop. Because when you look at it, all the pieces were there when Jerry Vecchio took over as coach just before the season. Pieces like Ricky Gus at quarterback and Isaiah McNair at receiver. And Vecchio, his team took those pieces, put it together, and built something pretty special there. You know, kind of reminds me of the footstool I made back in junior high. He put it together and made a pretty good team out of it. How about in 2A then?
2A, 1A, they're quarterfinals. They're not semifinals tonight.
Right. Steel Valley, I'm going to give them an A in chemistry because this is a team that had to replace a number of really good players from last year.
True.
They graduated Paris Ford, Dwayne Murray, but they came back this year, and you look at what they've done, still undefeated.
Not as dominant, but...
No, but they've found the pieces and the chemistry, and they've put it together, and they haven't lost a game now in more than 2 years. Another one in AA, I'll give it to Washington. How about an A in driver's education?
Ooh, okay.
The driver's ed here, and my reasoning is this. Washington ran into trouble last year on the road to Robert Morris. And I think, though, when you look at them, this is a team this year that kind of found the way, and they look like a team that can find their way to Robert Morris. And They've been a top 3 seed 3 of the last, I think now this is 4 years in a row. They've been a top 3 seed, and they haven't made it to the championship. But I think this year, see if they can find their way to drive to Robert Morris.
They'll avoid those detours and exits and try to finally get to Joe Walton Stadium.
Yeah. And an A in algebra to Cardinal World North Catholic. There was a lot of adding and subtracting with this team since last season.
That's true.
Players transferred, coach was replaced. But first-year coach Pat O'Shea, he seems to have solved the formula here. So they get an A in algebra.
Finally, one more, Class 1A.
I'm going to give an A in geology to California. Geology, because when you look at all the teams in the WPIAL, I don't know if there's any team who likes the ground more than California does. I mean, they got a 260-pound running back in Jelani Stafford. They lead the WPIAL in scoring at 53 points a game, but they run the ball. They don't throw it. They stick to the ground, and it's worked really well for them this year.
Plus, you could say a lot of folks are digging the Trojans this year.
You could.
Yeah, you could.
You could.
But we might edit that part out. All right. Mr. Harlan, thank you very much.
Hey, thank you.
We'll look ahead to the road to Hershey over the next couple of weeks. Enjoy the second half of the game you are listening to. And we appreciate the fine folks at Gateway Health for sponsoring the halftime show here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
And the game we're enjoying here tonight from Norwin High School, Class 5A semifinal round matchup as the Gators and the McKeesport Tigers. At the break, 7-0 Gateway on top. Our only score of the half coming with 3:19 left in the second quarter. A 29-yard touchdown pass from Brady Walker to Courtney Jackson. First play after the Gators recovered a Tigers fumble. And that fumble recovery came after McKeesport had recovered a Gateway fumble at the 16-yard line. Some musical turnovers for the teams during that second quarter. But Josh Duggan about turnovers, the turnover that was but result that wasn't really hurt McKeesport when Leighton Jordan had that interception in the first quarter in a 65-yard scoring return that was called back because of a block in the back. And after these teams have played 24 minutes of football here, the offenses have been held in check, and both of them definitely experiencing their lowest offensive output through a half of football this season. And both defenses have shined bright here tonight. And we'll see what kind of adjustments both Matt Miller from McKeesport and Don Hall for Gateway make here at the break to maybe try to get these offenses up to speed, because both teams have really looked out of sync.
Yeah, and, I don't know if it's been so much bad offense as it has been, just a couple of really good defensive efforts. I like the way that both defenses are playing. Sometimes you get these low-scoring games, and it's just kind of ugly football. I don't know if that's really what we've seen through these, first 24 minutes. I think both of these teams have a lot of skill on the field. I think maybe the cold is throwing a little bit of a wrench.
I would definitely say it's played some role in special teams.
Yeah, special teams for sure. Maybe Gateway's passing game just a little bit as far as some down-the-field throws that they missed on. But even at that, Gateway's on pace for 300 passing yards. But that said, Gateway has 1 rushing yard so far, and that's just not good enough. They have to do more in the running game in this second half, I think, if they're going to hold on and win this one. Speaking of the running game, McKeesport, 55 yards is like, that's unbelievable that McKeesport only is at 55 yards. Let's break that down a little bit. Leighton Jordan leads them 11 carries for 37 yards. J.J. Harper, and this is the big one, I think. He has 8 carries, including the 2 sacks. He has a fumble in there, -3 yards to this point for J.J. Harper on the ground. Carlinos Acey, 4 carries, 18. Devin Sims, 1 for 3. Harper through the air is 0 for 3 in this one, so 55 yards on the ground. They had 3 penalties in there as well for 20 yards that certainly did not help. And here's, I think, maybe the biggest stat of all for McKeesport, third downs. 1 of 8 on third downs to this point. They're 0 for 1 on fourth downs as well. So those conversion, situational type of opportunity downs, they just have not got it done. 3 first downs the entire first half for the Tigers. Something has to change here in this second half. I think it will. I think McKeesport's going to find a way to move the football. I think Gateway will as well. I think we're in for a really exciting second half. I agree with you. Teams back on the field to warm up. We'll take our last break here at the half. We'll be back with your third quarter of action. We'll also have some scores from around the rest of the WPIAL here on the Highway to Hines and Road to Robert Morris as well. 7-0 Gateway leads the break. We'll be right back with half number 2. You are watching exclusive coverage of the 2017 WPIAL football playoffs only here on the new Trib Live High School Sports Network.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me on and off the field. That's what keeps me focused, why I practice harder, play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo. Tell us your story using #WhatDriveSYou.
Carlo University is a proud sponsor of the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
AstroTurf, a pioneer in sports surfacing, proudly supports high school athletics. Visit one of their 280 fields in the tri-state area to see their cutting-edge technology. AstroTurf's focus on R&D enables them to provide innovative surfaces that protect athletes and stand the test of time. AstroTurf now propels performance with iconic turf fields and legendary Record-Tan tracks. They manufacture, build, and maintain a full range of turf and track systems for total quality control. Learn more at astroturf.com.
There's a new fear, not of better options, of rising loan rates. It's real. Rates have gone up, and Dollar Bank still has one of the lowest around. With a rate as low as 3.29% APR with only $50,000 borrowed, fixed for 7 years, there's nothing to fear. You can renovate the kitchen or update a bathroom or two. So lock in your rate now before they, well, I don't want to say it out loud. If choosing the better option is your worry, you can be confident that Dollar Bank's loan experts have only your best interests in mind, since they're not paid a commission. So lock in your rate before they go up again. Get those home improvements done with a rate as low as 3.29% APR, fixed for 7 years. Longer terms are available. Stop by, call 1-800-242-BANK, or visit dollar.bank. Dollar Bank, mutually inspired. Rate is for well-qualified borrowers and includes a discount with a maintained qualifying checking account. Not available for the refinance of a Dollar Bank loan, line, or mortgage of less than $15,000 in new money. Monthly payment of $13.34 per $1,000 borrowed. Other terms and conditions apply. Subject to change without notice. Equal housing lender.
Back here in Norwin, getting ready to start the second half of this Class 5A semifinal round matchup. McKeesport and Gateway. The Gators leading the Tigers by the score of 7-0 at the break. Matt Vandriak, Josh Rowntree with you here on the new Trib Live High School Sports Network. And Josh, before we get this game back underway, some scores from around the rest of the WPIAL in this 2017 Highway to Hines and Road to RMU.
Yes, sir. Let's start in the other semifinal. It is all Penn Trafford through the 24 minutes. They lead Upper St. Clair 21-0. Big pick six there towards the end of the first half, putting a nice cap on it for the Warriors as they are 2 quarters away from a trip to Heinz Field. In 6A, a couple of really tight ball games to this point. North Allegheny playing tough with Pine Richland. It's 21-18, Pine Richland with the lead at the break. In the other semifinal, Central Catholic leading Penn Hills 10-8 in a defensive type of first half. That game being played at Fox Chapel. In Class 4A, South Fayette right now late in the second quarter leading Montour 24-14. And how about TJ? They lead Bell Vernon after losing to them earlier in the year. Thomas Jefferson up 21-0 over the Leopards right now. In Class 3A semifinal action, Aliquippa being outgained in the first half, but they lead Beaver 6-0. Quaker Valley struggling a bit with Seton LaSalle, but they are winning, are the Quakers 13-zip. In the 2A semifinals, Steel Valley on top of Burgettstown 28-0. Riverside beating Avonworth 28-7. Washington all over East Allegheny 40-7. North Catholic smashing Sarah Catholic 35-0. All those games at half. In 1A, California beating Union 22-13. Amani edging Olsh barely 6-0 at half. Clareton up on Carmichael's 19-6. And maybe the surprising first half, Rochester up on Jeanette 12-7. We're back underway.
Right to left, McKeesport will kick it off. Gateway with the ball, return from across the 10-yard line, out to the 25, and then out to the 27-yard line on the return there. For the Gators is Jeremiah Josephs.
What a hit.
Yeah, Carlinos Acey bringing some thunder on that one.
Yeah, Acey had the initial, and then the finish off, DeAnthony Smith came in and gave a high shot to the return man, and big hit there. And now Gateway, the 7-point lead. They come out on offense. See what they changed up here at the half. I have a feeling that A, they're going to maybe try to run the ball a little bit more with Walker, and B, I think the screen pass. I think they need to get back on the screen pass. They had some success with it throughout the first half. I would expect more of that here.
I'd like to see Derek Davis get a little bit more involved in the passing game as well.
There
Setting up the screen. We both want it. Here it comes. Davis on the screen to the far side. Blocker in front of him. Davis has a first down at the sideline across the 40. He's hit hard at the 42, but Derek Davis moves the sticks. He took a pretty good shot at the end of that play from J.J. Harper. Harper was dynamite on that one, but a strong run and a first down by Derek Davis.
Big hit by J.J. Harper on the far side, but the freshman Davis took it, and we both said it. You wanted Davis more? I wanted more screen pass? Well, they throw a screen pass to Davis on the first play, and it works out in a major way for the Gators. That's a great play call on this opening play of this second half.
Out to the 42-yard line, Gators with the first down. Walker out of the gun, 2 receivers out to each side. Davis remains in at the deep back.
87 receiving yards on 5 catches for Davis right now.
Now Gateway shifting a third receiver over here to the near side of the field. As Walker gets ready to throw, pressure coming. Walker going to step up, and he pulls it down. Walker has a first down into McKeesport territory and down to the 43-yard line. Tackle made on the play by the Tigers, Kanan Baldinger. But, Josh, a point you made in the opening half, you said that Don Hall and should probably tell Brady Walker when that seems open, take it. And that time Walker did not hesitate. He saw the opening and picks up the first down.
Yeah, no question about it. Gets 15 more yards. So back-to-back 15-yard plays. Biggest rushing play of the day so far for the Gators.
Gateway moving the offense a little bit quicker here now with this fresh set of downs at the McKeesport 43. Walker to throw, dumps it underneath. Catch made here by Courtney Jackson. Jackson inside, now back out. Jackson inside the 30, inside the 25, gets a block at the 20, cuts it back to the 15, and that's where he's ran out of bounds as Courtney Jackson picks up another big play for Gateway. Ran out of bounds by Branson Smith, but the Gators 3 big plays, and they are down into the red zone.
And if you wonder why Brady Walker has over 3,000 passing yards, plays like that are exactly it. They run the little screen, the jet screen into the middle. They get it to Jackson. Then he gets a great seal block by the center, Amir Wahid, and it just springs him way downfield, all the way down to the 17.
Walker to throw again, swings it underneath here to the near side of the field. Josephs makes the catch, breaks a tackle, blocker in front of him, to the end zone. Touchdown, Gators. Jeremiah Josephs on a 17-yard swing pass, and the Gators have a 13-0 lead. Flag flies in the end zone. I think the touchdown's going to stand, but it might be something afterwards. We'll see what the officials say.
How about that drive?
4 plays.
Run, but all big plays. 15, 26, 15, and 17. The chunk yardage on that drive and a touchdown for Gateway.
And it will count on sportsmanlike conduct after the score, so a 17-yard strike. Walker to Jeremiah Josephs, and the Gators take the first drive of the game to the end zone in just 54 seconds.
5th catch for Josephs, and I like what Gateway did there. They came out with tempo. They had the quarterback run it early. They had a screen pass early. All went for big yards, and then the 2 dump-off plays to their quick guys, and Jackson and Josephs, and they just do what they're just gifted with, and that's just being quick. They're just quick guys, good lateral movement, weaving around, and you see there, Joseph finds the end zone.
PAT by Jason Jenkins splits the uprights, and the Gators don't take long, Josh. 4 plays to cover a lot of ground, and the big play offense of Gateway starting from that screen pass underneath to Derek Davis. We saw Courtney Jackson get involved in the offense. We see the touchdown pass to Jeremiah Josephs, and right now, Gateway couldn't ask for a better start to this second half as they come out the gates hot.
A 4-play drive, 73 yards, and they only took 49 seconds off the clock. So Gateway 2 scoring drives to this point for a total of 54 seconds. They had the 1-play drive that was 5 seconds they were into the end zone. That one, they go 4 plays. They cover 73 yards, just 49 seconds. Quick strikes there. This now becomes, I think, a really must-score drive. I know it's still very early for McKeesport. I think you got to at least move the ball, get something positive here at the very least. But I think if you're McKeesport, if you want to win this football game, I think you really need points on this drive.
I agree. You got to get something going on offense because you have no confidence right now. And now down 2 scores against what's been really an impenetrable Gateway defense tonight. McKeesport has got to get something going here. Try to get some momentum and get back into this game. Down by 2 scores with a lot of time left, though, but see how it goes. Gateway has been masterful in shutting this McKeesport run down tonight. They were really good against the Tigers in that first meeting, holding McKeesport to what is low for McKeesport, 225 yards on the ground total, but They, as you said, holding McKeesport to 55 yards rushing in the first half. The only negative for the Gators, though, after that score is the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty is going to result in this kickoff coming from back at the Gateway 25-yard line. And that's where Jason Jenkins, the freshman, will line it up. Return men for McKeesport at the Tiger 35. Carlinos AC here on the near side of the field. Branson Smith on the far side. The Gators handle this kickoff. Jenkins will line up. And left foot a line drive kick here that AC will take at the 38-yard line. AC tries to find some room, breaks some tackles. AC up and over the kicker who slows him down enough. He's brought down at the 32-yard line. So AC, a good play there. Special team stop made by the Gators, Jeremiah Josephs, but that unsportsmanlike conduct call costly there for the Gators. McKeesport's going to be set up with great field position.
Yeah, you're talking a difference maybe of about 40 yards there after that good kick return of what it would have been had they not had that personal foul penalty. So that is, as you mentioned, Matt, very, very significant, particularly if McKeesport can finish with 6.
From the 31 they start, and it doesn't start well as Jordan runs into his quarterback, but he's able to break away. And Jordan, a tough run there and a gain of 5 after a play that looked to be broken from the start. Jordan just willing his way forward for 5.
Sometimes that happens. Play breaks down and everybody on the defense overcommits to where that collision happens, and then a guy just springs it the other way and picks up 7 yards. Good run there for Leighton Jordan. His best in quite a while. His second carry of the game was a 7-yard carry. He has not had one that long since.
2nd and 7 from the 24. Tigers trying to answer the Gateway score that opened this third quarter. Faking the toss is Harper, going to call his own numbers. He bounces it outside. First down inside the 20. Harper still on his feet as he dives down to the 14-yard line before being brought down by Gateway's Tamai Woodson. But J.J. Harper moving the sticks, and McKeesport in the red zone looking for a quick answer here.
Yeah, good gainer right there. They only had, as we mentioned, 3 first downs in that first half. They pick up 9 and get one right there for Harper, his longest carry of the day.
First and 10 at the 15 now.
Sorry, Matt, this is where McKeesport struggled in that 3-point loss earlier. When they got inside of the 20-yard line, they did not have success.
Harper going to call his own number, finds room, and he's inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line. And that should be enough for another McKeesport first down. Tackle made by Tui Femina Brown, but Harper picks up 11, and the Tigers will have it first and goal at the Gator 5-yard line.
That time, before he even can initiate the fake handoff, does a little pump, then jets it right around the right side of the line, getting a good block on that side from Andy Mellinger and Dylan Vaniel on the right side of that great McKeesport line. McKeesport, 5 new offensive linemen from that runner-up team a year ago, but they play really well.
Harper going to call his own number to the right side, finds room to the end zone, touchdown Tigers! J.J. Harper from 5, and McKeesport answers just like that. 24 minutes of football, Josh. These teams combined for 7 total points. We're not even 3 minutes into this opening half, and they've each put a score on the board here in this third quarter as McKeesport cuts the Gateway lead to 14-6, PAT pending.
Do not forget the celebration penalty as well after the Gateway touchdown that made it 14-0. Gave them excellent field position, only had 31 yards to go, and they go 31 yards for the score.
And special teams disaster up and over the head of the snap. It's going to go over Harper, who fields it back at the 35-yard line. Harper, he's going to throw this to the end zone and convert.
Unbelievable.
It's a legal play, Josh. The ball was so far behind the line that Harper scooped it up, and Gateway must have forgotten about the men who were downfield. He throws to Marquise Butler for the most unconventional 2-point conversion I think I may have ever seen. Either way, the Tigers take it and cut it to 14-8.
Oh, don't forget that. That makes this a crooked kind of score right now. That snap was a flat-out horrendous one, but that is why you have a quarterback as the holder. He makes plays as things break down. You can use him for fakes and things like that, and Harper picks that ball up, and Gateway, everybody sold out. Nobody was downfield. They had 2 or 3 guys wide open back behind every Gateway player just standing there in the end zone. All Harper had to do was just get rid of the football, and he put it up in the air, and now it's a 6-point game, and that makes things very interesting, Mr. Vandriak, as we head down the stretch here. McKeesport, extra points, conversions, it's been a theme these last couple of years, going back, obviously, to the WPIAL championship game a year ago. A couple years ago, they were knocked out of the playoffs, so a missed extra point cost them. Last year, they had a missed extra point. That hurt them. Last week, it was the other way, West Allegheny missing one, and they ended up winning by 1.
Josh, we talked so highly of how the defense has dominated in that first half. The offense's answer on consecutive drives and have combined for more points in the first 2 minutes and 39 seconds than the teams put up in 24 minutes of football through the first 2 quarters. But as you touched on prior to that touchdown play, how costly was that unsportsmanlike conduct call against Gateway, which set McKeesport up, only having to go 31 yards. Now the Tigers with the onside kick, ball loose, and McKeesport has the football. Matt Miller rolls the dice, and the Tigers get the onside kick. The recovery down there by DeAnthony Smith, and McKeesport at midfield gets the ball back.
Look out. Very interesting. They get the special teams gaff that works out, and they come out with the onside kick. Matt Miller rolling the dice. McKeesport right back into this football game. I had a feeling we were in for an exciting second half, and that's exactly how it's unfolding. And that's something I think Matt Miller saw on tape. Earlier in the year, Penn Trafford, and this is something Don Hall said as we get a flag now from the near sideline on Gateway. This is going to be a 15-yard personal foul penalty, or maybe just a sideline warning.
This is a sideline warning, I think, against McKeesport, yeah, and both sides are going to warn him here, so.
Okay, that's good then. No yardage then tacked on. But Don Hall said that in that Penn Trafford game, they had a surprise onside kick, and it flipped the momentum of that football game. Penn Trafford was able to go and cruise to a 28-point victory, and Matt Miller, I think, saw that play on tape, runs it after the score. They get an onside kick. Great field position here again.
McKeesport will start at the Gateway 49-yard line, down 14-8, but getting the ball back after the onside kick. Gateway faithful chanting for the defense to rise up. Harper running the option here to the near side of the field. He's going to call his own number.
Out.
Harper down the near sideline. He's going the distance. J.J. Harper to the end zone from 49 yards. And it's only one play for the Tigers after the onside kick that ties this game at 14. J.J. Harper and the Tigers knotting it up.
How about that? Harper finally gets some room. Goes around the left side and boom, gone. And that is what speed will do, and that is momentum. Momentum totally went to the other side of the field, that McKeesport sideline. After the score, they do the onside kick, and then Gateway gives up a touchdown, and just like that, we're an extra point away. So McKeesport taking the lead.
And this extra point is blocked. Actually, it's just no good. So the Tigers missed the PAT, but have tied this game up. Wow. Business has picked up here in this third quarter. 14-14, McKeesport and Gateway. We have 9:10 left in the third. We'll take a break and be right back. You are watching 2017 WPIAL High School Football Playoff coverage. The Highway to Hines 2 is here on the new Trib Live High School Sports Network.
The new Trib Live High School Sports Network is the place to go every day this fall.
On Mondays, we have the latest top 10 football rankings.
Also on Monday, we check in on the former district stars now making the grade in college with WPIAL alum Q&A.
Tuesday is a look back at the biggest and best plays from the previous Scholastic football weekend with the plays of the week.
We go big game hunting on Wednesday with a preview of the top WPIAL football contests.
I'll look into my crystal ball on Thursday with the wildly popular Chicks Picks.
A complete rundown of all the games comes your way on Friday, plus plenty of broadcasts to choose from on Friday nights.
On Saturday, we'll take a look at the top performances with Friday night highlights. Then on Sunday, a look back at the previous day's high school standouts with Saturday's Scholastic Stars.
This fall, the place to go for all of your high school sports coverage every day of the week is the new Trib Live High School Sports Network.
McKeesport kicking off here. Gateway will field the return at the 15-yard line and some room at the near sideline. Joseph's out across the 30. Breaks a tackle across the 35. Joseph's at the 40 and finally dragged down at the 42-yard line. That's Courtney Jackson on the return. And a big return for the Gators special teams-wise. Devin Sims makes the stop for McKeesport, but the Gators get a nice return. What a story, though, this third quarter has been. Gateway taking the opening drive. 4 plays in 49 seconds to take a 14-0 lead. McKeesport would get an answer on a 31-yard drive, get the onside kick, and then 1 play later, back-to-back touchdowns for J.J. Harper, 5 yards the first time, 49 the second time. And we're all tied at 14 with 8:58 left here in the third quarter.
What a series of events. Now let's see what Gateway has. That kickoff return, good for momentum, definitely.
Walker to throw. Has time across the middle. Has a man through the hands of the intended target. In stride was Courtney Jackson, and he can't haul that one in. I think Jackson, Josh, was looking upfield to see what he had in front of him before he pulled that one in. Had he made that catch, he had a lot of room in front of him.
Might have gone all the way. Would have had to get by Harper, but it was a great-looking pass. Put it right on the numbers, ran a little skinny post right up the middle on the seam to Jackson, and it's a ball you got to catch.
Gateway really going, hurry up, blitz coming. Walker eludes, fires underneath, and that ball's incomplete. Dangerous toss, but well defended by AC, who gets in front of Derek Davis to knock it away. One thing we haven't seen, Josh, we haven't seen a lot of Jaquan Thomas here tonight. Thought maybe we might see a little bit of a running back tandem to try to get the ground game going, but Davis has been the featured back for the entire game. 3rd and 10 coming up for the Gators from their own 43-yard line. Twin receivers to each side. Out of the shotgun, Walker with Davis to his left. Fakes the handoff. Pressure coming. Davis gets away from the first man, and he's swallowed up in the backfield. Kanan Baldinger gets the sack for the Tigers, and McKeesport forces the Gators 3 and out after scoring the game-tying touchdown.
A loss of 6 on the play, and Baldinger in the backfield wrapped him up. Walker tried to get rid of it, but could not. And now they're going to have to punt the football away, and I believe this is Walker back to punt. It is. So their punting game a bit shaky. Jarrell Thomas, they put Walker back to punt the football, but look out.
Harper that is awaiting the return at the 41-yard line. See what Brady Walker does here. High snap, pressure coming. Walker gets it away and hits a pretty good line drive kick. Ball is hit off of a Tigers player, and Gateway recovers it. That line drive kick came with such velocity, Josh. It hit one of the upmen from McKeesport, and Gateway gets the recovery as Nicholas Alexander comes up with it.
Wow. This game swinging on special teams plays now, and Gateway's drive will continue on the punt.
McKeesport so close to the block there, too. Marquise Butler almost got a hand on that kick.
I think it may have hit off the leg of Deshaun Webb coming through traffic there, and great alert play by the Gators to get on that football.
They'll start at the McKeesport 36-yard line. I guess you could say it's a continuation of the drive. Walker out of the shotgun, and he has time. Swings it underneath. Catch made at the 40-yard line. Here comes Davis. Spins at the 22, and he's down to the 19-yard line. Derek Davis, the freshman. Another big move. Stop made on the play by Devin Sims. But a big gain again for the Gators. They're in the red zone.
17-yarder right there. And Davis, that ability in the open field to make guys miss.
So offenses have come to life here in the early part of this third quarter. 1st and 10 for the Gators at the McKeesport 19-yard line. Walker out of the gun. Going to step up, feeling some pressure. Walker going to pull it down. He's inside the 15, inside the 10, cut to the 5. Walker pushes to the end zone. Touchdown, Gators! Brady Walker, 19 yards to the end zone. And Gateway takes advantage of the special teams miscue to get the lead back with 7.5 left here in the third quarter. The Gators now on top 20-14 as Brady Walker gets it done on the ground.
Oh, this is turning into a terrific football game, but I think there's a flag down here that's going to bring it back. Yeah, look at this. Did not see the call, did not see any flag down, and this is coming back. There was a flag thrown at the 21-yard line, and they're going to take it back 10 yards, so wipe that all out. Boy, what a big momentum shifter that could be.
So holding against the Gators takes away the 19-yard TD run by Walker. Both teams now have left a penalty on the field, or left a touchdown on the field due to a penalty, taking it away. We'll see if Gateway can rebound. 1st and 10 now from the 32. Tossed to the left side and swallowed up in the backfield is Derek Davis as Jaquay Harden for McKeesport bringing some boom on that tackle.
Oof. Man, the great penetration, big hit. They read that swing pass perfectly.
2nd down.
It's a loss of about 2 yards.
Yeah, it's going to be 2nd and 24, it looks like, back at the 38-yard line. The Gators feel the sting of penalty taking points off the board, and they will attempt to, actually, 2nd and 29 now, Josh, back at the 38. As Walker lines it up out of the gun. Man in motion from right to left is Brown. Swinging it that way, and this ball is dropped.
Butler got a hand on it.
Marquise Butler able to knock that one away to a Famina Brown, the intended target, but for the Gators now, it's going to be 3rd down and a passport because there'll be a Mountie waiting at the 1st down marker. That's how far the Gateway Gators have to go here. Seen Gateway, though, convert a 3rd and 18 in the first half. Just one a bit longer, 3rd and 29 back at the 38-yard line. 3 receivers here to the near side, single wide up top. Walker out of the shotgun. Backside pressure coming. Walker's going down in the backfield. The blitz from the right side. Marquise Butler. Back-to-back big plays, and the Tigers get the sack.
Man, Butler is just everywhere right now. Had the reception on the 2-point conversion play, and the pass break up the play before, then the big sack right there. He's just all over it. What a performance by Marquise Butler.
So Gateway ends up losing the touchdown on the holding call. And Walker will have to kick this one away.
Harper deep.
Harper watches this ball go to the far side and die at the 20-yard line. So Walker kicking it away a bit from Harper. Doesn't get a lot of distance on it, Josh, but still pushes McKeesport back to their own 20.
Well, if that botched play, the hand on the football on that first punt by Gateway on the drive, if it did anything, at least it sort of flipped field position. Instead of near midfield for Gateway, they'll get it all the way, or for McKeesport, I should say, they'll get it all the way back at the 20.
So a first half that was dominated by defense. The second half that so far started with explosive offense. And we'll see what the Tigers do here. Pre-snap foul not going to help their cause. They're going to move back 5, and it'll be 1st and 15 back at the 15-yard line. McKeesport trailed 14-0. However, Gateway on that second touchdown, the Jeremiah Joseph 17-yard touchdown reception on the swing pass from Brady Walker, were hit with an unsportsmanlike conduct for celebration in the end zone, and that resulted in having to kick from their own 25. A good return by Carlinos Ace. He put McKeesport at the 31-yard line. Tigers scored, got the onside kick, and scored again. Hence, we're tied up at 14, and the Gator defense ready for this running play as they swallowed the McKeesport running back in the backfield.
Yeah, Davis in there initially on the stop. Famina Brown in there too.
Jordan, the ball carrier, goes nowhere on that one.
It's going to end up being a loss of about a yard, 2 yards.
Actually, they pushed him back 3, Josh, all the way back to the 12. So McKeesport going the wrong way after Gateway did the same thing after that penalty on the negated the Walker score. Toss sweep coming here to the near side to Acey with the blocker in front of him. Acey out across the 20, and he dives out to the 23-yard line. So Acey gets a solid 11 yards on the play before Jeremiah Joseph brings him down.
Best run of the night for Carlinos Acey. Acey, Division I recruit, and a lot of Ivy League schools looking at him. Brown, Columbia, Dartmouth, but also offers from Navy and Army, Duquesne, the Citadel.
If he goes to Army, he'll feel right at home with the offense at least.
And Navy too, yeah. They, of course, they know what they're looking for. They like guys that come from the system.
Solid gain on the play. Sets up McKeesport with a manageable 3rd and 8 from their 22-yard line. Harper going to run the option to the far side, pitching it back to AC. AC tries to find room, lowers his shoulder, and he's going to be stopped a couple of yards short of the first down. AC trying to bully his way to the first down, but could not get past the defense. Josephs again in on that tackle and make first contact, and then a couple of Gators helping to clean it up.
That makes McKeesport now 1 of 9 on third down in the game. Good stop. Good job getting over there and making sure that he was trapped short of the line to gain.
4th down and 2 coming up here. Tigers going to kick it away. Jordan skying that punt. Return man calls for the fair catch and makes it at the 34. Jackson with that fair catch, and Gateway gets the offense back. Here with 3:55 left in this third quarter. 14-14 the score. Gators striking on for the game's first points with 3:19 left in the opening half after McKeesport fumble set him up at the Tiger 29-yard line. Courtney Jackson hauling in a 29-yard touchdown reception from Brady Walker. And the Gators on the first drive of the second half go 73 yards in 4 plays. Capped off on a 17-yard swing pass from Walker to Jeremiah Josephs to make it 14-0 Gators. McKeesport would answer on the ensuing drive. J.J. Harper capped off that 31-yard journey with a 5-yard touchdown run, then a botched extra point resulted in a 2-point pass to make it 14-8. And then Harper a 49-yard TD run as the Gators on first down pushing forward. Harper steps up and sticks Davis after he picks up a solid 8. But after an onside kick, Harper broke off a 49-yard run 1 play later, and on a much more traditional point after the Tigers missed.
Yeah. What a bizarre sequence. Obviously, you just went through everything. There was the touched punt as well. I mean, it just a crazy, 6, 7, 8 minutes of football. I like that play call right there, the quick little dive run on that left side by Davis. They did that a lot with Isaiah Cameron. Have not seen them run that play yet in this game.
Strong 9-yard gain on the play, and now Walker going to call his own number, trying to bounce it out here to the near side. Circles in the backfield. He's going the wrong way, and he's going down for a loss on the play as the Tigers defense able to come in and make that stop. Stop made by Brandon Brooks.
That is the
getting
sack. That is the 6th time that McKeesport has taken down Walker for a loss in this game. And that one is on Walker. He had that play blown up at the beginning. Could have, just laid down, and it would have been a very short 3rd and 1, 3rd yard and a half type of situation. Instead, he tried to, kind of be a hero with it and ended up losing 4 yards. And now it's a much more difficult 3rd and 5.
Back at the Gator 40-yard line. Personnel, 3 receivers at the top, single wide to the right. Walker out of the gun with Davis to his right in the backfield. Walker looking here to the near side. Catch is made at the marker, and that should be enough for the Gateway first down, pending on the spot. Travis Thompson made the grab, and it's going to be enough. Branson Smith there to make the quick tackle for the Tigers.
Smith got a hand in there, nearly ripped that football out of the hands of Travis Thompson, who picks up his first catch of the ball game.
And Josh, I think the officials want a timeout. They haven't moved the sticks yet. They're going to change it now.
The near side line judge signaled it. There's a player down for Gateway. Looks like a cramp maybe.
And the head official does say it is enough for the first down. Thompson made the catch at the marker, then got pushed backwards, so it's a pretty easy call on the field.
And to see who is cramping here for Gateway. It looks like that's all that it is. They're stretching guy out but not able to see the number. So Gateway big drive here, 2:19 left. All even at 14 on, kind of a I don't want to say boring first half, but certainly not the electric type of big plays that we have seen.
Struggle.
Yeah, no question. This second half, though, has started in these first nearly 10 minutes totally different. Both teams with some lightning in those offenses, and I think we might see a couple more points put on the board for sure as we go through this second half. And
I think that's Thompson, actually.
It is,
down.
yeah. It was the man that was tackled on the play. Looks like just cramping up.
Checking out the leg there. UPMC Sports Medicine is excited to once again be partnering with the Trib Live High School Sports Network on the UPMC Stay Strong and Play On program. Student athletes will be recognized to remain dedicated to their teams and are determined to return to play while recovering from an injury. UPMC Sports Medicine will be giving out 2 $1,000 scholarships at the end of the year to athletes who have managed to stay strong and play on. Nominate an athlete today. Click on the Stay Strong and Play On graphic at www.triblivehssn.triblive.com for details. Some updates, Josh?
Barring a miraculous comeback, the winner of tonight's game will play Penn Trafford at Heinz Field. They are up 35-7 over Upper St. Clair. Caleb Lisbon going 30 yards for the touchdown run, and Upper St. Clair, they just cannot stop Penn Trafford's offense, really struggling with the rushing attack of the Warriors, who look like they are heading to the title game unless something crazy happens at West Mifflin High School.
1st and 10 from the 45. Gateway starts on their own end here. Walker out of the shotgun, faking the handoff, feeling pressure. Walker steps up, going to have to pull it down. Walker breaks tackles in the McKeesport territory. Inside the 40, inside the 30, and ran out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Finally pushed out by Kanata Gaskins, but Brady Walker, a little bit of shake and bake there. And a big play for the Gators, moves the sticks on that gain of nearly 30 yards.
I like that. Stepped up, didn't have anything, but Walker, he has the wheels. I mean, he can get out and run, and that's exactly what he did right there. Really good gainer.
From the McKeesport 25-yard line, Walker out of the gun again. Wants to throw this time, fires to the near side, catch made, but quickly stopped on the play is Josephs, as he actually might have lost a yard. Nice job by McKeesport's Leighton Jordan to make the tackle, but he's hobbled a bit after making that stop.
Josephs with catch number 6 to this point.
Went the wrong way, though. He lost a yard on the play.
He has 54 yards receiving.
More concerning, though, for McKeesport, Josh, you look at Leighton Jordan. He's feeling that tackle. He's kind of favoring that right leg a little bit. Comes Walker again on 2nd and 11, directly up the middle, plenty of room. Inside the 20, cuts it back at the 15. Outside of the 10, Walker inside of the 5-yard line before being pushed down a bounce by J.J. Harper. And Brady Walker doing it with his legs here in this third quarter as he picks up 21 yards down to the 5-yard line. 1st and goal coming up for the Gators.
That is a 9th first down of the quarter, a gain of 21, 51 yards rushing on the last 2 carries for Brady Walker, who's all of a sudden finding some room.
And he had the 19-yard TD run called back on the last drive as well. 1st and goal from the 5 here for Gateway. Walker fakes the handoff, calls his own number. Walker spins, and he's brought down at the 2-yard line. Harper got the shoulder into him to clean up the initial tackle that was set by Kanan Baldinger.
8th play of the drive coming up. Walker's next pass will be his 30th. He's 18 of 29 to this point.
2nd and goal from the 2. 38 seconds left here in the second quarter. Gateway looking for the go-ahead score. Walker fakes the handoff, calls his own number, lowers his shoulder, pushing, and into the end zone. Touchdown Gators. Brady Walker from 2 yards out. And with 29 seconds left here in the third quarter, the Gators get the lead back at 20-14. And this time, no flags on the play, so Walker scores, and Gateway's back on top.
How about the 4th leading passer in WPIAL history doing that with his legs right down the field and right into the end zone for Brady Walker. And you know, we said coming into the half, I thought that they kind of needed to get Walker involved in the running game more because they really didn't do anything. They had 1 rushing yard in the first half. Well, they have taken over this game with the running, at least on their side of the football, the offensive side.
PAT, and Gateway going to have to go for 2, and that's broken up. Don't know if it was designed that way or not, Josh. It looked like it was a bad snap, and then that forced the holder to come up and throw, but it's broken up, so the 2-point pass fails, but Gateway leads 20-14. And one of the things we kind of highlighted, we touched on at least a little bit in the pregame, is that special teams conversions for both of these teams has been an adventure this year. That has held true so far tonight.
Yeah, and again, there is the opening for McKeesport. Same thing happened a week ago against West Allegheny. They scored, and that was a later score, but they were not able to make an extra point. Left it at a 1-point game, and McKeesport was able to win by 1 point. And now you have a chance here for McKeesport. You go down the field, you score, you make that point after, and you could potentially win another tight 1-point game again. So we'll see what happens. But special teams and special teams gaffes are becoming a big story, as you said, Matt, here in this one.
Coming up after the game, it's the WPIAL Football Scoreboard Show with Don Rebel from the new Trib Total Media Control Center with all the scores and recaps from the semifinals and quarterfinals of the 2017 WPIAL Football Playoffs. Don't miss the WPIAL Football Scoreboard Show after the game, only here on the new Trib Live High School Sports Network.
8-play drive, 65 yards, 3:26 off the clock for the Gators.
29 seconds left in the third quarter. Gateway back on top. And this ball kicked off and going to be taken by by Harper at the 23. Harper going all the way across the field as he crosses the 30. Now he pitches it. And the lateral to AC gets across the 40 out to the 41.
Well,
not a bad start from McKeesport. Not a traditional return, but
maybe trying something there. Of course, they are used to that situation, being out running to the far sideline with AC as the pitch man with Harper, so they're comfortable with that, and he tries to make a play. An interesting decision.
Got an extra 6 out of it, so you're not complaining, but the risk factor there as well, Josh, that pitch on a kick return with all that traffic over there can always backfire, but for McKeesport, not the case, and they'll start at the 40-yard line. Down 6 with Harper under center, likely the last play here of the third quarter. Harper going to hand it off to the right side. Jordan lowers his shoulder. Wow, cue up the AC/DC. Davis got thunderstruck as Jordan ran right through him.
Two big boys going at it right there. Davis, the freshman, Leighton Jordan, the senior. Both of those guys can hit. Both of those guys can run it, and that time it goes. Actually, they're going to give him the first down after the extra extension. They're a gain of 10 for Jordan on first down.
Well, give Davis some credit stepping in on that play. He's given up 30 pounds, and Leighton Jordan is a man, and he showed it right there. Third quarter clock comes to an end, and we have now played 3 here at Norwin. 3 chapters have been written, at least one more to be told here from North Huntington. Your score after 3, it's Gateway 20, McKeesport 14. We'll take a break and be back with your fourth quarter of action. You're watching the 2017 WPIAL High School Football Playoffs, the Highway to Hines on the new Trib Live High School Sports Network.
East Suburban Sports Medicine, leaders in physical therapy, will help you get back into the game, feel better, play better, live better. Your hometown resource for physical therapy, East Suburban Sports Medicine. Take it from me, Bill Hillgrove. It's the best care, hands down.
I like catching fish with my son, but I sure don't like a health plan that comes with a catch. That's why I'm good with Gateway Health for medical assistance. They give us access to the highest quality health care from the doctors and hospitals that we want. And when you have something that good on the line,
you don't let it get away.
I'm good with Gateway.
Go to I'mGoodWithGateway.com to find out why so many people say
I'm good with Gateway.
Back here at Norwin, getting ready for our final quarter of a regulation. Gateway leading McKeesport 20-14 after 3. He's Josh Rowntree. I'm Matt Vandriak. This is the new Trib Live High School Sports Network. Your 2017 Highway to Hines. McKeesport 1st and 10 at midfield as the team switch sides. The Tigers left to right here in this fourth quarter. And here comes Leighton Jordan off the right side, lowering that shoulder and pushing forward for a solid 5 yards before Jordan Stankovic can make the stop. And Jordan has maybe entered beast mode here, Josh, in this late third quarter into the fourth. He's running like Marshawn Lynch right now.
Yeah, absolutely, and they need him to do just that. They need him to be a bruiser. They're down 6, lots of time here. They have great field position to start things out as he picks up 5 on that first down run. And, boy, batten down the hatches here. This is going to be a terrific fourth quarter.
Wouldn't expect anything less from these two teams. The last 2 games coming down to the wire. 2nd and 5 from the 45-yard line. Harper loses the snap, but he's able to dive on it and make the recovery and actually probably get a yard for the Tigers as well. Bad exchange there, and J.J. Harper alertly found that football as Stankovic was right there looking for the recovery.
He has lost 7 fumbles this year, has J.J. Harper, and now a big third down. McKeesport 1 of 9 to this point on third down conversions.
3rd down and 4 at the 44-yard line of Gateway. Harper under center. Short in the deep back with AC in motion. Harper going to call his own number. Harper moves inside the 40, and he has the first down to the 29-yard line. Knocked off his feet on the play by Gateway's Kanan Cleveland, but J.J. Harper moves the sticks, and McKeesport in business at the Gateway 40.
8th first down of the game, and a big one there for Harper. That one almost looked like a busted play, but they have design plays that look like busted plays sometimes with this triple option, and just sort of faked the handoff, and there was no one home, and he just curled it around the right side, picked it up.
Here come the Tigers. AC going to get the pitch to the far side, and he's able to break a tackle. Breaks another tackle up the sideline. Carlinos AC cuts it back inside the 20, inside the 15, and down to the 10-yard line where Davis brings him down from behind. Carlinos AC for 30, and McKeesport has it 1st and goal to go.
Whew, AC slipped out of one in the backfield and then turned on the jets, flew down the sideline, big 30-yarder, and the Tigers in business. That was all Carlinos AC there, just making a play out in space.
Looked like AC should have been stopped in the backfield, Josh, but that speed just able to shake off that first tackler, and he picks up 31 yards down to the 9-yard line. 1st and goal for the Tigers. Here comes Harper off the left side, just tries to attach himself to Jordan's hip and follows his back's lead. He'll push forward for a couple of yards, down to about the 5-yard line. Stop made inside by a couple of Gators there. .55 in there. Kanan Cleveland to make that tackle. 2nd and goal coming up from the 5.
A red zone offense with McKeesport is an issue. Obviously, teams overplay the run, so if you cannot get an opening, it can be tough to score.
Harper up the middle. Jordan fighting to the
Look
end
at
zone.
that.
Touchdown, Tigers. Leighton Jordan pounding it in from 5 yards out. And McKeesport knots this game up with 9:06 left in the 4th quarter. Jordan to the house. We're tied at 20.
Well, you mentioned it earlier, beast mode, Marshawn Lynch type of run right there. Got 2 guys in his grill, in his face mask, and he just says, I'm going to get to the chalk. And that's exactly what he does. Just plows forward, pushes him over, and now the very, very important extra point. This is a new kicker here. This is Kanata Gaskins, who will attempt it, not Anthony Biko.
And Gaskins' kick is up, and his kick is good.
Oh.
Conversion time comes through, and for the first time tonight, McKeesport has the lead with 9:06 left here in the 3rd quarter. A 5-yard touchdown run by Leighton Jordan puts the Tigers on top for the first time tonight by the score of 21-20. And Josh, we talked about in the pregame, special teams have been an adventure here tonight. McKeesport's only conversion was, to say broken on that 2-point conversion play is an understatement. That was cracked. And then missing the conversion, so they decided to go to Kanata Gaskins, who's hit a couple PATs this season, and he kicked it high, and it was good.
It was a wobbly
Almost
one, but
to
it
take a
found
line
its
from
way
Major
through.
League, it too high, but
Yeah, they used them to attempt a field goal earlier in the year as well. He missed that, but comes on and he does the kickoff duties for them, so he has a leg, and he was able to find that one through. And McKeesport, because of extra points, it's a theme with this team for some reason. Extra points, and the McKeesport Tigers playing roles either good or bad.
Tigers will kick off here after the score. So McKeesport, for the first time tonight, in the lead. They trailed 14-0, 54 seconds into the second half. But just think back, Josh, the momentum really swung on that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. McKeesport jumped right back into the game. Gaskins kicking off to the far side of the field. Return set up from the 15-yard line, and coming across the 25 out to about the 27 on the play is Courtney Jackson, and stopped on the play by a couple of Tigers. Carlinos AC in there for McKeesport, as well as Devin Sims.
7-play drive, 60 yards for the Tigers, 3:15 off the clock. As they take, as Matt, you said it, their first lead of the game. 9 minutes to go here from Norwin.
That was on the ensuing drive after the Gateway score, correct?
Yes. So let's see what Brady Walker has to answer. I don't think we're done with points yet.
I don't think so either. Walker out of the gun. Blitz picked up, and Walker loses his edge at the 20-yard line, and down he goes. That is the easiest quarterback sack Brandon Brooks has ever gotten, as Walker stopped by the turf monster at the 20.
Yeah, just somehow lost his footing, went down in a heap, loses 7, and not a good way to start if you're Gateway. Way behind the sticks, the 7th negative play for Brady Walker as far as a runner goes in this game.
Big loss all the way back now to the 20-yard line. Makes it 2nd and 17 from the 20. Gators behind for the first time tonight. Here comes Walker out of the gun. McKeesport brings pressure again. Walker going to pull it down. He finds room. Walker dives out to the 30-yard line, and he gets a solid 10 yards back on that scramble to make it 3rd down and about 7 coming up here. McKeesport's Marquise Butler gets the touch for the stop. But the Gators will be in a much more manageable situation. It'll be 3rd down and about 7 here from the 20-yard line. Sorry, from the 30-yard line.
If you account for all the sacks and everything thrown in, Brady Walker with 47 yards rushing now. Of course, he had 56 in that one drive.
Big 3rd and 7 here for the Gators. Walker out of the shotgun. Blitz is picked up. Now Walker has to scramble, and Walker's going down. The Tigers defense roaring again, able to avoid Kanan Baldinger, but he could not get away from the second man in there. Big Alex Meadows gets the sack for the Tigers.
They go 3 and out. We'll have to punt the football. Look out for Harper on the return here. Again, they will use Walker to punt. Gateway's offense faltering on that drive after a good, solid scoring drive with the feet of Walker. They did a good job, though, McKeesport, adjusting to him running. They kind of kept the man to spy.
Walker takes the snap at the 15, feels some pressure, steps up and boots it away. Harper forced to his left. Now he's just going to get away from the football, and it almost touches him. Taking a good Gateway roll inside the 35 and down at the McKeesport 34-yard line. But, Josh, we've already seen one punt miscue by the Tigers result in a turnover, and Harper needed to get away from that football or decide to pick it up quicker, and it almost ended up being a disaster as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the play. You know, they have the call. A lot of times it's like Peter, or some poison, something like that you yell out to get away from the football. And, you know, Harper just sort of stayed over top of it, and that was a mistake.
McKeesport's offense back on the field, though. 6:46 left here in the fourth quarter. The Tigers leading 21-20. They start at their own 34. Option toss to the left side. Carlinos Acey with room. Acey into Gator territory down the sideline. Ran out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Carlinos Acey, a big gain on first down for the Tigers. And McKeesport down to the Gateway 32.
That's twice now that they have given Acey a ton of room on that sideline. And maybe McKeesport's defense, or excuse me, Gateway's defense wearing down a little bit here. You see a lot of hands on hips right now, guys huffing and puffing out there, and they are attacking them on the edges with their speed. Huge gain right there.
1st and 10 for the McKeesport at the Gateway 31-yard line. Gain of 35 on that first down run by Carlinos Acey. I can't believe I did math that quick, Josh. Mark it down. Here come the Tigers. Sims in motion from left to right. And Harper tries to hand to Jordan, but a flag on the play will negate it, and likely a 5-yard infraction against McKeesport.
Yeah, some sort of motion here up front. Yep. False start. 5th penalty against the Tigers. Not too bad, though. Early on, they had a couple in those first couple of drives, and they've sort of regrouped discipline-wise and have played very well. Of course, both of these coaches, they know a lot about discipline. Matt Miller learning from the great George Smith, who he really harped on discipline when Matt Miller and I talked, said that was George Smith's thing. Discipline, punctuality, everything being a certain way, and he's carried that over to this program. And then on the other side, Don Hall, who went to Navy and knows this offense certainly from his days with the midshipmen.
1st and 15 now for the Tigers from the Gateway 36. Harper fakes the toss, looking to throw, pressure coming. Harper steps up and fires, and he's able to get that one away as he was being pressured in the backfield by a couple of Gators. In there was Tamai Woodson as well as Derek Davis.
I would have kept it on the ground if I'm McKeesport. Hey, you stop the clock. It's not your strong suit. I know you're trying to hit him with something different, but to me, they're doing a solid enough job on the ground. That was a gamble. Without a doubt, a gamble for the Tigers, and it almost resulted in a big sack.
2nd and 15 coming up here for McKeesport at the Gateway 36-yard line. 5:53 left here in this fourth quarter. Tigers leading 21-20. Leighton Jordan's 5-yard touchdown run with 9:06 remaining in this fourth frame. The go-ahead score right now after the Kanata-Gaskins PAT. Option to the opposite side of the field. Harper calls his own number, sheds the first tackler, then steps out of bounds at the 30-yard line after a gain of about 6. Bring up 3rd down and 10 But for McKeesport, unfortunately, Harper runs out of bounds and stops the clock.
And again, McKeesport here trying to do a put-away drive. They're throwing it incomplete. They're stepping out of bounds and giving Gateway opportunities here. Big third down so far, 2 for 10 are the Tigers. They picked one up on that scoring drive. Let's see if they can do it again.
At the 31-yard line of Gateway. Harper under center, Jordan the deep back. AC in motion from right to left. Harper going to run the option, and Gateway ready for it. They stop Harper at the line of scrimmage. Nice job by the Gateway defense.
Caden Cleveland, the first man in there to wrap him up. Great work. He is an excellent tackler. 8 sacks on the year, and a good job getting to the corner there and taking him down.
Kelvin Nelson, the freshman, getting a piece of that one as well. And McKeesport, we'll see what they do here on 4th down and 10.
$85 yards for Harper. 88 of that coming after half. He had negative yards in the first half. He has been much better after halftime. Less Leighton Jordan, a lot more J.J. Harper and Carlinos AC.
McKeesport will go for it on 4th and 10 from the Gateway 30. Harper going to throw the football, backside pressure coming, he's going down. Gators defense gets the sack, and it's Derek Davis, the freshman, making the big play for Gateway.
Coming off the blind side, all that speed of the freshman Davis got to him in a hurry and takes him down. Boy, if Gateway can get points here, that is a huge, huge play. McKeesport going for it on 4th down. You're in a tough situation there. Obviously too far for a field goal. It will be a short punt. They take a gamble on a 4th and long, and it doesn't work out.
Gateway getting it back at the 37-yard line. We have 4:55 left here in this 4th quarter. 21-20. McKeesport in the lead. Here comes the Gators offense. Spreading it out. 5 wide, empty backfield. 3 receivers up top, 2 down low. Walker out of the shotgun. Has all kinds of time. Now the pocket collapses. Walker able to get away from Baldinger, and Walker has room. First down to midfield into McKeesport territory and brought down at the Tigers' 45-yard line. Coming away with the football as a McKeesport player. Walker a little bit slow to get up there at the end of that play. He was driven into the ground hard from behind by Alex Meadows, and that's a big body to fall and usually finish that tackle off.
Walker was grabbing his right knee, and he is still grabbing it. He is in pain right now. Looking at the sideline, he's trying to gut it out, but I'm telling you, Brady
That's a tough play because he got high load there, Josh.
Yes.
Gaskins went low on him and then got cleaned up by Alex Meadows, and Walker definitely feeling it.
19-yard gain.
1st and 10 at the McKeesport 44. Out of the shotgun, Walker going to stay in. Davis to his left. Walker swings it underneath. Davis makes the catch, and he's going to be dropped back in Gateway territory as Carlinos AC read it easier than a Dr. Seuss book.
AC just blowing that play up. What a great job by the corner in AC to read that, get after it in a hurry, and it's a loss for the Gators of 5 yards.
And Walker does not look comfortable right now.
Matt, who was that pass to? That was Davis, right?
That was Davis on the swing pass, but the snap was a little bit high, Josh, and Walker just did not look comfortable planting his foot to throw that ball. Comes Walker out of the gun, looks to the opposite side, fires underneath, has a man. Catch made in traffic, and a nice play out to the 40-yard line by Jeremiah Josephs as he picks up 10 yards and makes us a 3rd down and management now for the Gators at the McKeesport 40.
They needed that. They needed a chunk play. Now it's manageable here. They need 7 yards, and it's 3rd down, 3.5 minutes left. Where they are on the field, it's 4 down territory too. So you don't necessarily need it all right now, but you don't want to be faced with a tough 4th down.
From the McKeesport 40, 2nd and 6. Walker going to pull it down. Looks to be okay now. Walker moves the sticks. Walker hit hard at the 31-yard line as Kanata Gaskins stepped up and brought the boom to finish the play off, but Brady Walker showing no ill effects of that tackle a few plays ago as he picks up a Gateway 1st down.
Yeah, knee looked fine there, didn't it? He was grabbing at his knee or calf, it looked like, on his right side and was hobbled a bit. I'll tell you what, though, adrenaline can go a long, long way, and he's out there running like a maniac here these last couple drives.
Here comes Davis up the gut, breaks a tackle, breaks a second. Davis down to the McKeesport 21-yard line before Harper finishes the playoff, and that's another Gateway first down. 11 yards, run at the middle by Derek Davis.
3 minutes left, and if you're thinking field goals, don't think too much about it. Jason Jenkins has not attempted a field goal this year. Don Hall telling me his timeout's going to be taken by McKeesport. Don Hall told me that they would be comfortable in a must-attempt type of situation, which who knows, we could see, with 33 yards. That's about what he said the distance is. But Jason Jenkins is 5'2", 105 pounds, and a freshman. If you're Gateway, you need 6 here. You don't want to leave it up to a freshman kicker.
Coming up after the game, it's the WPIAL Football Scoreboard Show with Don Rebel from the new Trib Total Media Control Center with all the scores and recaps from the semifinals and quarterfinals of the 2017 Highway to Hines and Road to Robert Morris. Don't miss the WPIAL Football Scoreboard Show after the game. It's only here on the new Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Obviously a lot to recap and a preview on the roundtable later as well of the championships and the 1A and 2A Road to RMU semis. That should be a lot of fun, those guys talking high school football later.
Out of the timeout, 1st and 10 for the Gators at the McKeesport 21-yard line. Davis up the middle again. Davis inside the 15. Strong second effort, and Davis finally brought down at the 13-yard line. Gaskins finished it off. Holding on there was Dylan Vaniel, but Derek Davis is tough to bring down.
Look at this hurry up, the tempo.
Here comes Davis again. Actually, that play's not going to count. Yeah, a little too fast because a flag flies on the far side of the field.
It's a false start against Gateway.
And Walker not happy with that, as he knows he wants to go hurry up here on the offense, but unable to get that one going.
Quaker Valley going to Heinz Field. They beat Seton LaSalle 40-7. Wow. Thomas Jefferson 27-0 final over Bell Vernon. Jags come into play after the loss earlier in the year.
2nd and 7 for the Gators from the 18. Here comes Davis up the middle, inside the 10, inside the 5. Davis through the Tigers defense like a hot knife through butter. 18-yard touchdown run. D-double has been trouble tonight for the Tigers, and Gateway leads 26-21 with 2:15 left.
This kid, Derek Davis, has a big future in the WPIAL. They used him so well on the drive, and they really didn't do this play a lot throughout the course of the game. And remember, Matt, I said earlier in this quarter that they kind of flashed it. It was a play that they did a lot with Isaiah Cameron. They went back to it here a couple times on this drive, just the turnaround little handoff, the quick jet up the middle by Derek Davis, and he goes 18 yards to the house. And now a very, very pivotal 2-point conversion coming up here for Gateway, and they're going to take a timeout to set something up. They want to make this a 7-point game, 26-21.
Well, it's official. Your one true source for all high school sports is the new Trib Live High School Sports Network. And some of the top athletes of the WPIAL are featured every week on the Trib Live Center Stage, which you can view on our YouTube page. Log on to our website this fall at www.triblivehssn.triblive.com and check out which athletes we are talking to here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
See what Gateway brings here. This, still a lot of time. McKeesport has a running offense, but they can move in big chunks. We've seen them do it. And you have to, if you're a Gateway fan, in the back of your mind, be thinking this is exactly what happened last year on this field at Norwin. We scored late, took the lead. They came right back down the field and won the game on a Hail Mary. So you cannot let this 2-point conversion go to waste here. You need this without a doubt.
Gators going for the deuce to try to make this a 7-point lead.
Davis in the backfield here. See if they keep it on the ground.
A little bit of a tighter set here for Gateway. Walker out of the shotgun, fakes the handoff, throws underneath, has a man, 2-point conversion pass is good as Tui Famina Brown gets the deuce, and the Gators lead 28-21 with 2:15 left.
Great play call. Absolutely fantastic play call. McKeesport was thinking run just like I was, and they got fooled. They had the fake handoff to Davis, and then Walker just sliding right back across the grain goes Famina Brown, wide open for the touchdown, or for the two-point conversion right along the goal line. Great play call by Don Hull and his staff right there, and now it's a 7-point game.
So a 70-yard drive there, Josh, for the Gators, but think about it. McKeesport electing to go for it on that 4th down at the Gateway 30-yard line instead of trying to maybe pin them inside with the punt, and Gateway takes advantage of it and moves it quickly upfield.
A couple times now in the game, teams taking advantage in this second half of short fields, and it works perfectly.
And how about Derek Davis, the freshman, coming to life here in this 4th quarter?
That drive, 63 yards, 2:40 off the clock over 7 plays. Matt, we thought we were going to get a good game tonight, didn't we?
Yeah, we sure did. You're right. I thought that drive was that play was on the 30 on 4th down, and the quarterback was sacked. So yeah, 63-yard drive. Wow.
Yeah.
Gateway to kick off. McKeesport still has 2:15 to work with, though, and has 2 timeouts as well. Lining up to kick this one off for Gateway is Jason Jenkins. Line drive kick. Takes a bounce off of AC's face mask and then scooped up by Gaskins, who is stacked up at the 32-yard line. Oh, what a disaster that would have been for the Tigers. Luckily, Gaskins able to find the football. For Gateway able to get the stop. Tackle made by Sonny Cominale.
That could have been a disaster right there, that ball popping up in the last second, almost like you see sometimes with an onside kick, it gets that roll and then just, boom, catches an edge.
2:07 left here in this 4th quarter. 28-21, Gateway in the lead. McKeesport with the football, looking for the tying score, 66 yards away. Harper, he's going to throw. Firing as a man open, and he overshoots his intended target. Branson Smith was open, but Harper, again, too strong on that throw.
Just out of his reach. Good play call. Like the play call, and really this game, a couple of plays could be the difference with Harper not being able to find receivers. That's his 5th pass. He has had guys open. J.J. Harper, he has not attempted more than 5 passes in a game this year, so the next one will be a season high.
2nd and 10 for the Tigers at their own 34-yard line. Down 7 with 2:03 left here in the 4th. Harper, option to the near side. Toss goes to AC. AC with the blocker. AC cuts it back at the 40. And a good open field tackle made there by Gateway's Brendan Mahoka.
Yeah,
sorry about that.
Thought we would see a lot more of Mahoka. He's been pretty solid, but that's a huge play there.
It was. That's a great open field tackle because AC had room to run if he doesn't make that stop. Able to get 8. 3rd and 2 from the 42-yard line. Jordan the deep back. He's going to, Harper going to fake it, toss it to Sims. Sims sheds a tackle. He has a 1st down. Flag flying. Yeah. Ball pops loose, but they're going to call Sims down.
Joseph's got held big time on the corner.
That takes away what would have been a 1st down for Sims. And you see Gateway's Tamai Woodson saying, take it back. Holding call against the Tigers negates the 1st down run.
I think it might have been Sheridan on the outside, just got out and got a free hand on the back of Joseph's. Good call.
Big play here now for the Tigers. 3rd down and 14 back at the 32-yard line. Up the middle, nothing happening. Gators make the stop. Harper just swallowed by the inside of that defense as Tamai Woodson and Jordan Stankovic shut it down, and Matt Miller takes a timeout.
Just really not loving the play call right there. You need yardage, and Harper trying to go up the middle just could not get anything. You hope that, and you pray that the seas part, but it just didn't happen.
Ball game on the line here with 1:11 left. McKeesport faced with 4th and 15 at their own 29-yard line. They take a timeout to talk things over.
So far, Harper, 77 yards rushing. Jordan, 64 on the ground, but we have not really seen a ton of Leighton Jordan in the second half. Just 4 carries for the McKeesport fullback. Carlino Sacy, a big second half. He had 18 in the first half, but He has some really big runs here after halftime.
It all comes down to this. 4th and 15 for the Tigers at their own 29-yard line, trailing 28-21 with 1:11 left here in the fourth quarter. McKeesport spreading it out. 3 receivers to the left, single wide to the right. Harper out of the shotgun. Has a man. Jordan makes the catch. Jordan laterals it back down the near sideline. Branson Smith.
No way.
First down to the Gateway 22-yard line. It's deja vu, Josh.
Unbelievable. It's exactly what they did last year, the hook and lateral play, and it works for a huge first down. Branson Smith shaken up here as he comes away with that, but you got to be kidding me. The hook and lateral, again, the second year in a row, driving late here at Norwin against Gateway, trip the Heinz Field on the line, and they pull out the old reliable trick play yet again.
Jordan might have had that first down on his own, but he laterals it back to Smith, who picks up a whole lot more down to the 28 at Gateway. Harper firing in traffic, catch made at the 25-yard line. They only got 3 yards out of it, but Harper just happy to have the right guy catch. That was a dangerous pass to throw, but Branson Smith came back to get it.
Clock rolling, though, 45 seconds.
Tigers still have 2 timeouts left, and Harper going to spike it.
Just the one.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong side of the glass. Just 1 timeout left. Harper clocks it, so it's 3rd and 7 with 43 seconds left.
I cannot believe that they went back to the hook and lateral. It worked. They had Jordan 4th down, desperation play. Jordan over the middle and just pitches it off to Branson Smith, who makes a play.
3rd and 7 now after the spike for the Tigers at the Gators' 25-yard line. 4 receivers set. Out of the gun comes Harper. Harper has a little bit of time. Firing towards the end zone. Incomplete.
There's a flag down on the near side, around the line of scrimmage.
Jordan was the intended target, and good coverage. A little bit of hand fighting back there with Jeremiah Josephs, but both guys with rights to the football. And a hold against McKeesport. It's going to cost them because I think Don Hull's going to take this penalty.
No, he's going to decline it.
Okay.
Declines it, makes it 4th down. That's why, because it brings up a game-deciding play.
So 4th and 7 now for the Tigers at the Gateway 25-yard line. 37 seconds left here in regulation. 28-21, Gateway on top. Do the Tigers have another miracle in them like they did in 2016? Officials stopping the clock here to set it up. Gateway needs 1 stop to punch their ticket to Heinz Field. McKeesport, the miraculous finish last year, looking to keep this season alive. 4th and 7 from the Gateway 25-yard line, and now the Gators want to take a timeout to talk things over.
Yep, get it right. Get your defense set. Obviously they're coming out showing something a little bit different there. Obviously, I think it's a passing down for them on 4th and 7. So you get your defense set, you get them adjusted. Good timeout by Don Hull right there.
Don't forget to tune in for This Week in the WPIAL on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Join us as we visit with some of the top WPIAL coaches, plus preview the championships at Heinz Field and the semifinals on the road to RMU in the 2K17 WPIAL football playoffs. This Week in the WPIAL, Wednesday night at 7, here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. So here we go. Out of the Gateway timeout. 4th and 7 for the Tigers. At the Gateway 25-yard line, down 28-21. 37 seconds left here in regulation. Can the Tigers pull out one last crazy comeback? Harper out of the shotgun. Backside pressure coming, picked up. Harper in double coverage. Ball's tipped and broken up on the Gators. Courtney Jackson denies it. And Gateway heading to Heinz Field, it looks like.
They had to throw. At the end of the day, McKeesport had to pass the football. They almost pulled out another miracle here to tie this game, but Harper's pass into coverage, and it was double coverage, and a perfect play made on the football by Jackson. Joseph's back there as well, and now the Gators a kneel down away from a trip to Heinz Field. They have not been there in a while, Matt. It has been a long time coming, really, for this proud Gateway program. 2009, it was their third loss in a row that year to Woodland Hills in the championship game. They had lost previously to Bethel Park and Central Catholic.
Brady Walker's ran a lot of offensive plays this season, but none have probably felt better than the one he just took there. Out of the victory formation and the knee. And the Gateway Gators are one snap away from heading to Heinz Field in a conference rematch yet again with the Penn Trafford Warriors. Walker takes one more knee, and the Gateway Gators are heading to Heinz Field by virtue of a 28-21 semifinal round victory over the McKeesport Tigers here at Norwin tonight.
And it's pandemonium on the Gateway sideline.
Well, it wasn't quite the instant classic last year was, Josh, but the third consecutive thriller between the Gators and the Tigers. This time it's Gateway with the victory, and they move on for a chance to win their first WPIAL championship since the 1980s.
And it will be against the Penn Trafford Warriors. They beat Upper St. Clair 35-14. So Gateway, Penn Trafford, the storylines in that one. Gateway, their former assistant, John Ruane, who's still a teacher in the Gateway School District, is the coach at Penn Trafford. A lot of connections between those two programs. That's an old school, back to the Foothills Conference rivalry, and that should be a terrific football game. Hats off to this McKeesport team. A great, great season for them. Really an impressive performance here today for McKeesport. And a great second half they played. Made a lot of adjustments, just not quite enough as Brady Walker led them down the field. And this freshman, Derek Davis, he is a guy to look out for. Gateway has found their next star.
We will take a break. We'll be back to recap all of the action here from Norwin tonight and also get you all of the updated scores from around the rest of the Highway to Heinz and Road to Robert Morris. Gateway defeats McKeesport. Another great battle between these two conference rivals. This time it's the Gators who get the win and punch their ticket to Heinz Field. We'll take a break and be right back. You are watching 2017 WPIAL High School football coverage, the Highway to Heinz on the new Trib Live High School Sports Network.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me on and off the field. That's what keeps me focused, why I practice harder, play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo. Tell us your story using #WhatDriveYou.
Carlo University is a proud sponsor of the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Who showed you how to get to Sesame Street and took you to visit Mr. Rogers' neighborhood? WQED. And now, WQED and PBS Learning Media can help you travel through space, get an up-close look into Vietnam, and be in the front row of a Broadway show. In collaboration with local school districts, community organizations, and local libraries, WQED continues to create experiences that remake learning for students, teachers, and lifelong learners. For more info, visit WQED.org and begin your adventure.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
AstroTurf, a pioneer in sports surfacing, proudly supports high school athletics. Visit one of their 280 fields in the tri-state area to see their cutting-edge technology. AstroTurf's focus on R&D enables them to provide innovative surfaces that protect athletes and stand the test of time. AstroTurf now propels performance with iconic turf fields and legendary record tan tracks. They manufacture, build, and maintain a full range of turf and track systems for total quality control. Learn more at astroturf.com.
At American Mag Centers, you've got nothing to lose but the pain.
We're talking with Dr. Pete Peduzzi of American Back Centers about VaxD therapy. Dr. Peduzzi, it sounds like VaxD therapy can successfully treat a lot of disc-related problems.
Kathy, listeners need to know that VaxD is an effective treatment for herniated discs, degenerative disc disorder, foot drop, sciatica, stenosis, and even failed back surgery.
Really? So even if a patient has had back surgery and is still having problems, VaxD therapy can help?
Yes, at the American Back Centers, we've successfully treated patients who've had back surgery and are still experiencing pain. Before considering surgery, you should definitely give us a call. VaxD is safe, FDA approved, and has a high success rate for treating disc-related neck and back pain.
Thanks, Dr. Pete. Folks, if you have any of the problems we've discussed, please give Dr. Pete a call or visit the website at AmericanBackCenters.com.
At American Back Centers, you've got nothing to lose but the pain.
For the most complete recap of Friday night's high school football action, tune in on your way home from the game to the WPIAL Scoreboard Show, only here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Hi, this is Don Rebel. Join me in a cast of thousands for all the scores with recaps from the top games, plus we highlight the night on the Trib Live Roundtable. That's the WPIAL Scoreboard Show after the game on Friday nights on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and at tribhssn.triblive.com.
Back here at Norwin, putting the finishing touches on another thriller between McKeesport and Gateway, but this time it's the Gators who are moving on to Heinz Field by virtue of a 28-21 semifinal round win over the Tigers here tonight. Matt Vandriak, Josh Rowntree on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. And Josh, this series between these teams, the last 3 games between these teams have just come down to the wire. We had the instant classic, the 41-38 McKeesport playoff win last year in the 5A semifinals. Gateway holding on for a 21-18 win in Week 8 with a Jeremiah Joseph's interception in the end zone with McKeesport on the 5-yard line and 6 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And then tonight, after the Tigers had a 21-20 lead, Gateway went ahead 28-20 with 2:15 left. The Tigers break the hook and lateral out again, but the Gators this time hold on for the victory. A fourth down pass breakup, Courtney Jackson knocking away J.J. Harper's intended pass for Leighton Jordan. And McKeesport falls by 7, but tell you what, if you're looking for a good high school football game to buy a ticket for next season, when McKeesport and Gateway hook it up, that's the one to buy because these games have been exciting from start to finish. And hey, it was a defensive first half, only 7 points on the board through the first 24 minutes. Offenses come to life with 4 third-quarter touchdowns. The teams exchange a pair of fourth-quarter scores, but Gateway gets the last one, and they are headed to Heinz Field for another rematch, Josh, as this conference put 3 of the 4 semifinalists in place this weekend, and Penn Trafford and Gateway will hook it up at Heinz Field next Saturday for the 5A title, but before we go there, let's talk about what happened here. What a football game this was tonight.
Yeah, fantastic. Just a terrific, terrific high school football game. Glad we could be here for it, certainly. That's one of the better ones you'll see, particularly that second half. Just so well played. The ebbs and flows, the momentum swings like a pendulum in that second half. Fantastic game. You tip your cap again to Matt Miller and his team. They showed a lot of heart, coming back a couple of times. But at the end of the day, Gateway with Brady Walker, they just made plays. They made plays in the second half, in the passing game. They got the running game going. And you can't say enough about Brady Walker and his ability when plays are not there, because I thought McKeesport really guarded the pass well. I thought they were terrific on the outside. They took away a lot, but Brady Walker made plays with his feet to keep drives alive. Remember, the one drive, he had a 30-yarder, then a 21-yarder. That final drive, he had a big 19-yarder. That last scoring drive had a big 19-yard run for a first down in that drive. He just made plays. He ended up with 75 yards rushing on 17 carries. Not fantastic numbers, but you take away all the sacks, and it's pretty good what he did running the football. Derek Davis, 8 carries, 53 yards, including the game-winning 18-yard touchdown. They really got him more involved in the second half. Had 4 carries after halftime, and they were big carries. 9 yards, 10 yards, 9 yards, the 18-yard run. They got chunk yardage on that little jet dive play in that second half, and it worked to perfection. Walker through the air, 20 of 31, 228 yards, 2 touchdowns. and a pick. And Davis in the receiving game, too. 8 catches, 97 yards. They can use this kid all over the field. And I think that right now they're trying to maybe define what his role is going to be for Gateway, and that might be it. He just kind of does a little bit of everything. A lineup as a receiver, lineup as a running back, and they'll throw the ball to him all over the place. On the other side, McKeesport, Carlinos Acey was really good down the stretch. He had a couple of big plays on the sidelines, had 9 carries, 108 yards in that one. J.J. Harper, though, 77 yards, 80 of that coming after halftime. He had negative 3 yards in the first half. I thought he was really good after halftime, made some good decisions along the way, had that big sequence there with the score, the onside kick. That was fantastic. He finishes with 77 yards. Leighton Jordan, though, Matt, I think the one knock maybe on McKeesport is that they really went away from Leighton Jordan, who I think is their best player in the second half. He touched the football after halftime just 5 times, one of the being the hook and lateral play. He had just 4 carries. They just didn't do enough in the second half to get him involved, I don't think, and that's part of the reason why that, and a great Gateway team, part of the reason why that they are not heading to Heinz Field this year.
We'll take a look back, Josh, at the scoring recap, and it started back in the second quarter. Our only points of the first half came with 3:19 left in the opening half. The first play after a McKeesport fumble gave Gateway the ball at the Tiger 29-yard line. Courtney Jackson catching a 29-yard touchdown pass from Brady Walker. And it was 7-0 Gators. That would be your score at the break as well. And remember, Josh, back in the first quarter, Leighton Jordan, that 65-yard interception return that was called back due to a block in the back, that took points off the board for the Tigers. And also in the first quarter, the pass where J.J. Harper overshot Devin Sims, who was wide open behind the defense as well. So McKeesport, and we said at the halftime, it could have been what might have been because they could have easily had 2 first-half scores. Third quarter, the offenses got clicking. It didn't take long. 54 seconds into the third frame, Gateway would go 4 plays, 73 yards, and it was Jeremiah Joseph's a 17-yard swing pass reception from Brady Walker to give the Gators a 14-0 lead. But a unsportsmanlike conduct call against the Gators would push the kickoff back to the Gateway 25-yard line. A nice return by Carlinos Acey set McKeesport up at the Gateway 31-yard line, and J.J. Harper would score on a 5-yard touchdown run and make it a 14-8 game. 2-point conversion pass, it was simple. J.J. Harper to Marquise Butler, except it was a botched snap over J.J. Harper's head, who ran back to the 25-yard line and just chucked it up to Butler. Nobody was covering him, and McKeesport got the most unconventional 2-point conversion I've ever seen. But they were back in the game 14-8 with 9:21 left in the third quarter. Then Matt Miller rolls the dice, and the gamble pays off. The Tigers recover the onside kick, and it only takes 1 play after the recovery. J.J. Harper, a 49-yard touchdown run. Point after was missed. 9:10 left in the first quarter. McKeesport scoring 2 touchdowns in 11 seconds, and it's 14-14 when Gateway would get the football back. Had a 19-yard touchdown run by Brady Walker called back, but the Gators would strike before the third quarter ended. 29 seconds left in the third quarter. It was Brady Walker, a 2-yard run. The 2-point conversion would fail. 20-14, the Gators led after 3. McKeesport, though, would have the answer. 9:06 left in the fourth quarter. Leighton Jordan, a 5-yard touchdown run, capping off a 7-play, 60-yard drive on the ensuing drive after the go-ahead Gateway score. Kanata Gaskins knocked through the PAT. McKeesport had their first lead of the night, 21-20, with 9:06 left, and that would be the only lead the Tigers had. As with 2:15 left in the clutch, Gateway sensational freshman Derek Davis, an 8-yard touchdown run, followed up on a 2-point pass from Brady Walker to Tui Famina Brown. 28-21, the Gators lead. Remember, Josh, that drive started at the Gateway 37-yard line after McKeesport elected to go for it on 4th down at the Gateway 30-yard line, and J.J. Harper got sacked, so he lost 7 yards, and Gateway got the football back and would go 63 yards for that score. McKeesport almost had one last miracle left in them on 4th down for the Tigers. The hook and ladder happened again as J.J. Harper able to hook up with Leighton Jordan. Jordan lateraled it back to Branson Smith. Gateway watched as McKeesport pushed it all the way down to their 25-yard line for a first down, but the Gators defense able to hold on a desperation 4th down pass as Harper was looking for Jordan again. Broken up by Courtney Jackson, and Gateway repeats what McKeesport did last year. They beat the Tigers twice, much like the Tigers beat the Gators twice last year en route to Heinz Field. And now Gateway has a rematch with Penn Trafford, a Penn Trafford team who handled Gateway in the regular season 28-0 in Week 5.
We have a couple of Heinz Field matchups set, a couple, and a very interesting game going on right now, which I'll get to in a moment. The 3A championship game is set. Number 1 Aliquippa, they beat Beaver 14-7. A slugfest there. They will take on Quaker Valley. They smashed Seton LaSalle 40-7, pulling away after halftime in that one. So Aliquippa against Quaker Valley.
That's a rematch, correct?
Yes, they are from both from the same conference. They will play again. Aliquippa won 22-7 earlier this year in that one. Of course, we'll have a rematch here in 5A. Penn Trafford beating Upper St. Clair 35-14. They'll get the Gateway Gators. In Class 6A, looking like it is going to be Pine Richland Central Catholic. The Rams in the second half, big second half for them. They lead in the fourth quarter 49-25 over North Allegheny. They will take on Central Catholic. They come away with a 17-8 victory over Penn Hill, so it looks like it'll be Pine Richland Central Catholic in the final. But here is where things get interesting. Thomas Jefferson knocks off Bell Vernon 27-0. Montour has roared back. They are leading South Fayette 35-27 with under 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter of that game. Wow. South Fayette potentially blowing a big, big lead in that game. And, of course, they blew the semifinal last year when everybody thought they were going to be there.
Right. Everybody was looking forward to that South Fayette-Thomas Jefferson matchup.
Could be a lot of black and gold at Heinz Field on next Saturday.
And, Josh, you talked about that North Allegheny game. That was a 21-18 game at halftime. And North Allegheny, just watching as Pine Richland blows it up in half number 2. So the highway to Heinz is now set. What a game here tonight, Josh. It's really, that's really all you can say. It just really was a great football game between two teams who bring out the best in each other and put on a great show. Great to be a part of it, and just a great game to watch. And you hate to see somebody lose this one, but the script flipped from last year. You know, McKeesport beating Gateway in the regular season and knocking them out in the semifinals. This year it's the Gators who knock the Tigers off in the regular season and then get the semifinal round victory. And back at Heinz Field for the first time since 2009 and looking for their first WPIAL championship since 1986, I believe.
Yeah, 86 was the last one for Gateway. It's been a long time coming, and they'll get a Penn Trafford team looking for some rare championships for their program as well, and just really looking forward to that. That should be one heck of a football game. I'm excited to watch that one next Saturday. And Don Hall, I can't say enough. You know, Seneca Valley had some success there, and he's come to Gateway. He has instilled his offense. And, you know, one thing that I was told by Matt Miller, in fact, coming in, is that Don has taken his style and he's taken it to a school that has athletes that fit his style. Guys that they can get into space, and they have brought in a quarterback in Brady Walker. They have grown this kid, a third-year starter. They have brought him along to the point where he is making plays and, you know, now sitting as the fourth all-time leading passer in WPIAL history. And a lot of it is because of the guys that he has on the outside that can make plays for him, but he's a very talented passer himself. And Penn Trafford, you know, they won 28-0 earlier in the year. I think they're going to have their hands full with the Gators. That has the makings of a thriller at Heinz Field next Saturday.
Well, in 2005, in Week 5, that is, they battled for the bell. Next week, they will battle for the Class 5A championship. McKeesport falling to Gateway here at Norwin by the final score of 28-21. In this game, and the broadcast rights to this game are the sole and exclusive property of the new Trib Live High School Sports Network and the WPIAL. Any use or rebroadcast of this game without the express written consent of the Trib Live High School Sports Network or the WPIAL is strictly prohibited. Thanks to Chelsea Rowntree for working camera tonight. We'll get you those fingers back later. Josh, great job. Great working with you again. What a football game tonight. We got to see a great one. It's a pleasure working with you, and I'll see you at Heinz Field next week.
Yep, sounds good.
Final score here from Norwin. McKeesport falls to Gateway 28-21. It'll be the Gators and the Penn Trafford Warriors for the 2017 Class 5A Championship. And we thank you for tuning in for 2017 WPIAL High School Football Playoff coverage. The Highway to Heinz, only here on the new Trib Live High School Sports Network. Good night, everyone.
You have been listening to exclusive coverage of the 2017 WPIAL football playoffs on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Sponsored by UPMC Sports Medicine, by Carlow University, by AstroTurf, by Dollar Bank, by Chick-fil-A Robinson, by WQED, by Adrian's Pizza, by Gateway Health, and by Trib Total Media. You can follow the 2017 WPIAL football playoffs every day by logging on to www.tribhssn.triblive.com. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of the Trib Live High School Sports Network.